All right, what's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another live stream. And Bitcoin has just set a brand new all-time high. We have just set a brand new all-time high. On this chart, ladies and gents, we have managed to rise up to $69,000. So we're going to be breaking this down. We're going to be getting straight into this, diving straight into the deep end. Welcome back, ladies and gents. This market remains very, very heated up, and it's been a very interesting bit of price action as well over these last hours. Actually, interestingly, it's always been the U.S. Open, even though the S&P 500 isn't super strong. It's always been the U.S. Open lately. That's been the bullish kind of sessions for these markets, and we've got some really very, very interesting stuff to be covering in this live stream. So as you're coming along, guys, let me know if you can see everything okay, if you can hear me okay, and do me a favor and smash those likes up for the Bitcoin all-time high. Bitcoin's just set a brand new all-time high. Let's get a brand new all-time high on those likes. If you are pumped up, if you're as pumped as Bitcoin is, if you're pumped up for the live stream, smash those likes up as we get a couple of people coming in for this live stream. I'm getting an error on my side saying that the connection is bad. So please let me know if there is some lag or like bad video or something like that in the comments as well. This is the perfect day for a technical issue to come up, of course. That would definitely just be my luck. So thank you all for tuning in. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gents. Gonna wait for a couple more people to come in. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Let's see what's going on in the comment section today. Welcome, 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 everybody. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we see and hear you. I knew you'd be live stream. Of course you do. Of course you did, bro. I'm always here. I'm always here when you need it. Yeah, let me know if the video quality is good. Can you see everything in HD 1080p? One person having an issue, but it looks like everybody else is good, so it might be your connection, bro. Thanks for being super active. You got it, Tom. You absolutely got it, bro. I am here for you guys when the market is looking fun like this. So this is super, super exciting. Thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gents. Continue to smash those likes up for a brand new Bitcoin all-time high. I've got so much to talk to you about in this live stream. Video and audio is great. A couple altcoin suggestions you guys want me to cover. How are we all doing today, ladies and gents? How are we feeling? How are we feeling with this new all-time high? Let me know in the live chat. How are you feeling? Do you feel excited? Do you feel scared? Do you feel worried? Do you feel anxious because there's good things coming, or anxious because you think there's going to be a drop? Like, what's the deal? What's the read in our live chat today, ladies and gents? Let me know right here. We reached an all-time high now before halving. Time for a pullback. Dude, before a halving, we've set an all-time high. Zahib from yesterday's live stream coming in with one of the best questions we've received on our live streams recently, because he pointed out something very, very important, which is that, yeah, we've never actually done it before. We've never set an all-time high before the halving happened. So we are definitely going to be diving in on that, and something that I think would be worth looking into. Precision Metalworks saying nice call on Solana at 129. Yes, bro. Yesterday in our live stream, we were talking about Solana down at the 129 level, and bam, we've seen that pump. And this was actually what I was talking about with the standalone video that I published. Those of you that are subscribed will have watched it. Ladies and gents, smash up those likes as we're coming in. Welcome to the live stream. Those of you that were subscribed who watched that little mini video I put out, or if you watched the live stream yesterday, I was pointing out that there are certain coins with phenomenal opportunities. ARB is another one, which has also been moving up nicely since my video. A nice little pump here. There are more, and we're going to be going through them. So this is super, super exciting. I fear for a pullback, but I'm not sure, since the ETF is a new variable, right? And this is the problem, is this time is different. So, we all know what happens when you start using phrases like that. But no, I do agree with you. I think that there is some new interesting elements, dynamics in this market. We're going to be covering all of that quite nicely in this stream. Facebook, Instagram down just before the dips. Interesting. So we've got Facebook down, is it? Let's go ahead and see what Twitter is saying about this right now. If it's on Twitter, because of course when Instagram's down, everyone comes to Twitter. Yeah, Facebook's been down for 20 minutes. Interesting. Yeah, so WhatsApp and everything else probably hit. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. I'm anxious to not make a mistake right now when stakes are so high. Yeah, Mitch. And, look, I'm not going to say anxiety is good for you, but this is not the time where you want to make a mistake. That is definitely true. You definitely want to be making the right moves here, calling the right shots, because otherwise, you're potentially going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. So we're going to talk about the psychological aspect of that as well. Someone's asking me to look at ARB. I will definitely do that, sir. I'm going to be going through the altcoins with you. We're going to be looking at traditional finance. I've been getting a little bit of flack for talking about gold, but of course gold managed to set a new all-time high. So I don't know about this wick, but everyone's saying it's a new all-time high. So maybe this is a weird bit of price action. But there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you about in this live stream. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Continue to smash up those likes as we're coming in. Let's see what else we've got in the comments before I start off with this analysis. Super exciting stuff today. I just want to know how you guys are feeling. Such a baby touching the all-time high. Yes, but it was a baby touch. We only went above the all-time high by $300. But, and I'm going to talk to you about this in a sec, I actually think that it's not that bad at all. I actually think this is really good. And I think that there is a decent chance, like the chance is far above zero that we could substantially breach the all-time high during this live stream, like actually during this live stream. So if you haven't already, ladies and gents, get yourself on these exchanges that are giving you free money if you're interested in the bonuses. Bybit remains the top in the game with up to 30k in free capital they're going to give you to trade with. A free $500 Bitcoin position if you haven't taken this yet. I mean, this could have turned into so much money, by the way. I just want to put this into perspective. Going long on Bitcoin basically at any fucking point at this stage would have resulted in such ridiculous gains, like just up to current price on 10x. That is a 50% profit on a free $500 position. That is absolutely ridiculous. Kind of from our consolidation to the all-time high that we set, you would have doubled that $500 just using 10x leverage. So these are incredibly powerful offers. If you don't already have it now, it is late, but better late than never. Check it out. You've got to do your KYC and start trading to get your bonuses. And BingX, same deal, but there's no KYC, so that is super cool. And you've also got traditional finance markets, because this has been going really interesting. We've actually got a sea of red over here, including on the S&P 500, but Bitcoin is doing pretty well. I mean, like I said, we have pulled back, and we're going to take a look at that in just a sec, but it is definitely very interesting stuff going on right now. So super exciting day here. Let's see what else we've got in the live chat before I start with this analysis. A couple requests for some altcoins, which we're definitely going to go through. Some short flash crash before having a rocket starting. I think it's very likely, man. I think it's very likely. Now, I actually thought that we could actually rally up above the all-time high and, kind of pull back just like this. But there's one thing in particular which makes me think that we're going to recover back up and actually do some really interesting stuff. And I'm going to talk about that probably as one of my first bits of analysis in this stream. What else have we got here? Some more altcoin suggestions. Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Why are altcoins lagging so hard? And I mean reputable ones like AVAX and Sol. Are they lagging hard? I'm not sure. Solana's just popped, bro. So I'm not sure how hard they're lagging. They are lagging a little bit, but we're gonna, we always see the kind of Bitcoin run and then it kind of moves into altcoins and so on. So I'm not worried about that right now, to be honest with you guys. Good morning to Shakester. Ladies and gents, welcome to another live stream here. We just set the new all-time high. We've managed to pull back by $2,000. Very exciting stuff here. This is the volatility you want as a trader. You don't just want to get that blue sky breakout above the all-time high. You want to get a little bit of stop action. You want to get a little bit of fun stuff, kind of going on before we set that all-time high. So that is super exciting. We might not actually break it. We might actually just kind of consolidate here like we did at the 20k level. And last time we stayed here for 30 days when we were breaking the 20k level. So, it's really anyone's call here. But ladies and gents, if you are pumped up for this one like I am, then do me a favor and smash those likes up. Let's get straight into this. If you do enjoy these live streams, find them useful and all that stuff, your interaction with these live streams helps me make them much more worthwhile, helps me reach you guys who are subscribed to the channel. But let's stop talking about that and let's start talking about these charts, because we have had a phenomenal breakout. Take a look at this Bitcoin chart right here. We were trading sideways. In a descending channel. We managed to get a phenomenal breakout out of there, up, and this is obviously a slightly outdated chart, but up to the $69,000 price tag, which is absolutely fantastic. If we look at this from a more zoomed out perspective, we broke it. We managed to rise up. We managed to rise up in a much more aggressive way, right? Because last time when we got up to this high, we actually managed to have a pullback, right? And we got a fairly significant pullback. This was like, 51K down to like 38 or something. I don't know. I'd have to check the actual prices. We'll check it right now. But this time we didn't even pull back. We just continued to rally up the whole time. So that is definitely very interesting. take a look at this, right? So before, when we managed to do this, it was a nice big move up by 80% and then a big retracement down by 23. Actually, to be fair, that's quite in line with what we had before. Yeah, 25%, slightly bigger, and then we continue to rally on higher. But in this case, I mean, it's just so much cleaner, right? And you can actually, I'll actually demonstrate this for you all to just compare what we're looking at, and then I'll start talking about obviously where I think the money making opportunities are. Of course, as usual, obviously I want to go through your questions and your chart suggestions as well. But I mean, this is what we're dealing with. It was literally like off the same price level as well. I mean, it's so clear. And, you know, just to make this fair, let me, I guess you could say, yeah, the last part of this pump has been a lot more aggressive than the first part, to be fair. But this is what we're working with. I mean, you know, the last move was a little bit, to be honest, they're relatively similar. You know, but especially if you're looking at it from here, you're going to really start to see that it's quite different. Let me show you that as well. This has been much more aggressive, you know, especially in this kind of late stage right here. Look at that, right? Like, just compare this price action. It's much faster that we're going up. We're not even consolidating for that long. And we've reached the same level now. So very, very cool. Very, very strong. And there's definitely some stuff that we want to read into, you know, to understand what that means. Now, someone's asking in the crypto chat, very interesting, in the live chat, very interesting question. Sammy, can you analyze the potential M formation, so double top, and possibility for further downside after a retest of the all-time high? Absolutely, sir. I absolutely will do that. Let me get to that in just a sec. I want to continue talking to you about how we actually got here, because I think, you know, that's how you anchor the conversation and actually cover this in a very reasonable, grounded, realistic way. And obviously that's what we're aiming to do on this live stream here. You know, if we do take a look at where Bitcoin has found itself, we are, however, still in a beautiful sideways range, and that is very, very nice. You know, this does play into that 20K thing, which I'm going to talk to you guys about a little bit later on in this live stream. Let me just make sure I write that down so I don't forget. 20K consolidation, because I do want to make sure that I don't forget like all the big things I want to cover with you in this stream right now. Sammy, love your candor. What do you think is going to happen with the miners like Riot? I don't know about much about miners, but we'll get to questions like that later on. That's actually quite interesting. But yeah, so we are kind of consolidating in a bit of a sideways range right now. It looks a little bit like this. So that's absolutely fantastic. It's coming with some EMA support. Not much. It's only on the 1 hour. So, you know, we're definitely still quite overextended. And if we do look at where support is, it's not a great image in terms of where Bitcoin could end up going, because the support is still really far away. The bottom of the CMA ribbon still stretches down to $50,000, and that is now, let's keep in mind, from the all-time high that we set, that is $20,000 lower. So, you know, that's literally the entire cycle of 2017, you know, just for a retracement now, which is fucking crazy, but that is where we are. And you know, so there is support really far away here on a slightly more short-term time frame. We're still not even there, right? I mean, this is down at 64K, so, you know, it's going to take a minute. Look at that massive wick right there, ladies and gents. Absolutely massive wick. Very, very interesting stuff there. You know, and then of course, if we do zoom in even further, we do finally have some support here. So, you know, what's actually very interesting in terms of that 20K range, and I actually want to talk to you about this right now, is that it looks like we could be forming the same kind of thing that we already did earlier this month and last month in terms of entering a sideways range. And the reason I'm saying that is because we've got this nice big wick up here, followed by some really nice sideways trading action going straight into this Ichimoku cloud. And if that does continue to happen here, we've already got similar kind of, look at the EMA ribbon. EMA ribbon's in the same place. We traded into the cloud and then bounced off, trading into the cloud, bouncing up. That's literally like, that would literally mean we pump up in like 2 days maximum, potentially, if the same thing happens. You know, and one of the things I think that's, one of the reasons that I think that's actually quite interesting is because of that 20K all-time high. Let me show you what that looks like here before we kind of really start zooming in on this, because, you know, one of the things that I'm able to do quite well, which, you know, some of you guys maybe can't, is I've actually lived through like 7 years of Bitcoin price action now. So, and I live, breathe, eat, sleep, shit Bitcoin. Like I know Bitcoin in and out. And, you know, so I remember, you know, various different, I remember the whole Bitcoin chart, actually. I've got generally not a great memory, but the Bitcoin chart I could probably draw pretty accurately going back to 2017. And so with that, I remember certain things like the breakout that we had at the $20,000 level. And I want to cast your minds back to that, even if you weren't in the space back then. But just real quick, let me know in the comment section, did you join before or after 2020, after the 2020 all-time high? Were you here before Bitcoin broke the 20K level? Let me know. Let me know if you were. Let me know if you weren't. I'd be very curious to see how many of you guys were actually here. But what we had back then was that we came up to the all-time high and we got this nice big rejection. Absolutely beautiful. 16% down in one day. This is how you recover from a big move up and then charge up again. So that is absolutely great. That's exactly what you want to see. And then we start forming this kind of sideways range, or like one of our attentive viewers pointed out, the M double top pattern as well. But basically what we had was a nice sideways range here where you kind of long the bottom, short the top, wait for that breakout. And that is exactly how Bitcoin managed to break out before. And from the time that we kind of entered this price range to the breakout point, it was about, 3-4 weeks here. Let's see what else we've got here. So been here since 2017. You are a pretty OG, bro. Good stuff. You came after 2020, since 2017. I was here 2019 before, was definitely here before. You guys, we've got a pretty OG crowd on this YouTube channel, haven't we? Yeah, so like there's almost nobody that came after 2020. That's very interesting. So you guys have probably done pretty well then in this time. Nice. Very, very good. I only found out about you 6 to 8 months ago. I feel left out. Oh man, it's all good. We're here. We're not going anywhere now. I joined February 2018. Yeah, that was an interesting time in the market, wasn't it? Down at 3K. Don't fret or FOMO. There is always time. Darren Wong coming in with the wisdom. Absolutely love it. Ladies and gents, we've just smashed 100 likes. Thank you all so much. If you are a fan of these live streams, do me a favor and pump them up even further. We want to see how high we can take this. We hit 500 likes on the last live stream, ladies and gents. It would be amazing to pass that this time for Bitcoin's new all-time high. But yes, sideways trading range, very, very healthy. It did take a while, so that's a little bit underwhelming, but that's definitely not the body language of this cycle. I do think, obviously, that we're so far overdue for a pullback. But if this thing starts to recover, I don't know if that pullback is actually going to be a significant one soon. It's obviously going to come, and the longer it takes, the worse it's going to be. But I don't know if that's coming soon. And by soon, I mean like in the next week. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because if we take a look at this on from a perspective of the Bitcoin dominance, what's actually really interesting here is that as soon as we hit the all-time high, and I'm going to show this to you on the 1 minute, because this is really, really interesting, right? So here's Bitcoin on the 1 minute time frame. I'm about to give you guys a really strong, solid bit of analysis here. What we had was Bitcoin dominance start to move up quite nicely, yeah? And we're going to put this on the 1 minute. It's already pulling back a little bit, but this is very, very interesting, right? So right as we set the all-time high, we actually saw Bitcoin's dominance fall and then rise, right? And this is, I think my camera's blocking it. One sec. Let me move my camera. Right there, yeah. You can kind of see like we start to pick up a bit of Bitcoin's dominance, and this was very recently. But what this means to me is that a lot of the money that left Bitcoin entered altcoins. This is, it's a small thing, 0.4%. But, in terms of how much capital that actually represents, it's a huge amount of money. And that's actually why we've already started to see some really, really exciting things like Solana rallying up really nicely, right? Like it is pulling back a little bit now, and that's absolutely great because you want to see a pullback, but obviously, hopefully just kind of down to support levels like this, and then, you continue to rocket higher. There were certain coins that got hit really hard, right? And so there was definitely some profit taking across the market, probably in anticipation of, what we saw back in 2020 with the 20K all-time high. And of course, just people taking profits, right? I mean, we finally hit the all-time high. It's been multiple years since we've had any relief from this kind of thing. So naturally, I think a lot of people are going to be finally looking to take some profits just as part of any normal, sound, healthy risk management practice, right? And I think that is absolutely great, very, very normal. And one of the big things that this actually means, and this is probably the single most important takeaway you're going to get from this live stream, especially because of this price action with Bitcoin. But by the way, look at this. We are dropping down just on the edge of 66K right now. And look at how strong some of these altcoins are holding up as well. That is very, very impressive. We are seeing a bit of an uptick with dominance, obviously, but very, very interesting. We're going to cover this short-term PA in just a sec, but the single most important takeaway you can actually get from this live stream, ladies and gents, and it's the same thing I said way back in 2020. Those of you that were subscribed are going to know this quite well, is that when you get an all-time high like what Bitcoin just set, and then you start to kind of pull back, what's happening is that you've got, like, imagine there are certain people, you, others, whatever, who have been in Bitcoin underwater for years, who've always said, look, I'm going to take some profits when we hit an all-time high. I'm not going to sell it all. I'm going to sell 5%. I'm going to sell 1%. Some people are like, you know what? So, some motherfucker bought $69,000 back in 2021, right? Let's not forget about that. Like, for Bitcoin to trade there, that means somebody actually bought it at $69,000, right? So there are going going to be large groups of people that want to start taking profits on their Bitcoin positions now. And what that means is that you've got a set number of supply that actually wants to get sold off in the market, right? And every time you start punching these resistance levels, that supply gets dwindled down, right? Let's say there's 10,000 Bitcoins that want to be sold all the way up here, yeah? 10,000 Bitcoin. So you hit this up here, and now you've got 9,900 Bitcoin, or let's say 9,000 to keep it simple. You hit this here, and now this whole rally down, you've sold another 2,000 Bitcoins. Now we're down to 7,000 Bitcoins that want to be sold up at this price level. So it could very well be the case over these next days, weeks, months, whatever it takes, that, this range is where, now we're down to 6,000, 5,000, 4,000 Bitcoin, right? That wants to be sold. And eventually, you're not going to have any more Bitcoin that wants to be sold. You're not going to have any more bearish BTC in the market, and so you're just going to have more buyers, right? If you don't have any sellers left and you only have buyers, and that's how the price goes up. Naturally, if if nobody's willing to sell, the price has to go up until you find an equilibrium, right? Until you find that kind of common point where people agree that actually, yeah, this is the price we're going to trade Bitcoin at, and that's when you start to see some stabilization. So, look at this aggressive profit taking right here. So that's actually really important to be keeping in mind at this stage in the market, because it allows you to really understand what's going on and to not let these things sweep you away as well, right? Like, you might very well be bearish and think that this is the absolute top, and you know what? That would be amazing. If Bitcoin actually tops out here, that is a double top across 3 years, 2.5 years. That's really strong for Bitcoin. That would be a really good thing, because it would mean we'd probably have a massive crash, a really nice cleanse, a really nice recovery that would come afterwards, and then really, like, that's when I can start reasonably talking about $200,000, $300,000, right? It's when we kind of cleanse the market out. So, that's something that I would definitely like to see, and you might think that that's the case, but realistically, just given how this has moved, I don't think you can even say. I think it's honestly a completely pointless exercise to even try and speculate on these kind of things, so I certainly wouldn't try to do that. What I'm actually going to do live on stream, ladies and gents, is remove all of my drawings. So this is always something that I love to do. I do it when the price action changes significantly and we enter new ranges, we enter new paradigms in the market, and I am doing that again right now. So bam, there we go. We've got a new completely naked chart, and very, very clearly we are starting to sell off here very nicely. We have managed to fall down to $65,000 for this very brief little retest of our previous consolidation right here on the hourly time frame. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents. We've got 500 viewers in here. How are you all doing today, ladies and gents? Let me know how you're doing. How do you feel about this little drop right now? Are you guys feeling good about this drop? Are you guys concerned about this drop? Let me know what you think. That green gravestone doji on the 4-hour previous close intrigued me. Interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at that gravestone doji, huh? Yeah, so shooting star, I guess you could call it as well. This is a massive wick to the upside, a massive rejection. Definitely a strong indication of strong selling pressure in the market. And we're just going to see how low this thing ends up going from here. Do we end up sweeping that low? Do we end up kind of holding these price levels? I think that's going to be very, very interesting to watch at this stage. I think altcoins are holding up pretty well. We are definitely seeing some sell-offs now. Right at the beginning of the stream, Solana was pretty high up. It's now managed to pull back to 133. But the beautiful thing about all of this price action is this is where you're starting to find support. So I don't know if it's going to hold, and I think this kind of thing depends a lot on Bitcoin and where Bitcoin finds itself. Ethereum following similar kind of price action here, but Ethereum looks like it's not doing as badly, is it? 3% down on Ethereum versus... Yeah, Ethereum's doing really well, isn't it? Look at this, shooting up against Bitcoin right now. It fell back down into this potential buy range. Like I said, I don't like this buy range. I think we're going to get a better buy range, but, it did start to move up nicely against Bitcoin. Again, I mean, this is just like a nice 7%, right? You're kind of buying this buy range anywhere, like let's say in the middle, and we didn't go down that low, obviously, but that is an easy 8% appreciation on your Bitcoin holdings, which is a really, really big deal. Double top almost completely formed. Yeah, we're going to take a look at that, actually. But back to the analogy of Bitcoin being sold off at these price levels, when you start to exhaust all of that supply, if you're still in the bull market, then you kind of have to expect that you break the high. And that's where this stuff gets really exciting, and that's where we can actually start to see really, really big price explosions. So we want to see sell-offs here. The more sell-offs we have here, the less we're going to have later on. It's a lot easier to say I'm going to sell at $69,000 because that was the all-time high. It's a lot harder to say I'm going to sell at 75 because once you get to 75, what about 80? And once you get to 80, what about 90? Once you get to 90, what about 100? You know what I mean? So there's obviously going to be some front running and some people taking profits along the way. But generally speaking, when there aren't that many sellers, you will probably see the price rise up quite nicely. Now, one thing I do want to point out, and this is about the ETFs, is we've been seeing a lot of inflows with the ETFs, right? And that might be one of the reasons Bitcoin pumped up on the US Open today. But, and I think this is a really important but, now there's a lot of these ETFs that hold Bitcoin, right? So I think that it's going to grow a lot more. But what we need to keep in mind is that when somebody has already pressed the green button, they now have the option to press the red button, right? So before the ETFs, which was the entire year of 2023, where these things made sense, we had really good reason to believe that things might be super, super strong for Bitcoin, and we're going to see a really big rally, and that's absolutely fantastic, and it makes a lot of sense. Now that the ETFs have been released, and there's been lots of inflows every single day, and actually in a lot of ways growing in volume as well, that does now mean that there are a lot of Bitcoins that can get sold as well on the market, yeah? So we've really got to keep that in mind. I think that's a really important thing to be paying attention to right now. Bitcoin has just swept below the $65,000 price level. Take a look at this on the minute time frame here. We are, of course, just on the minute, so this is quite ridiculous, but we have swept that low. Which means that if we keep sweeping lows like this is we are on the, I can't stress this enough, we are on the 1 minute time frame, but obviously it's very liquid right now because of the major price action taking place. If we are going to be setting, kind of lower lows in this market, then that could definitely be a sign that we're going to be coming down for a deeper correction. And let's actually talk about that for a second. I do see a lot of your comments, and I'm going to go through them in just a sec, but let's actually talk about what that correction could look like. I mean, the first obvious area of support is going to be the 62K area. There's going to be a lot of buys, kind of waiting around over here, so that's definitely going to be something which I think is interesting and worth paying attention to. If we do end up dropping below that, then the next area of support is way lower. It's like $10,000 lower, and that's going to be at about the $52,000 price area. These are both light areas. I think the next major real area of support is going to be basically right here. And let me go ahead and make this a lot less opaque so we can see this price action right there. So I think that's going to, most likely be our next kind of potential bounce zone for Bitcoin in terms of more macro support, which is, it's really far away. So you really don't want to see this thing losing these levels. Otherwise, it's going to be a much bigger drop. But again, like, this is what makes good trading opportunities. So it's not something I'm personally worried about. It's not something I can be worried about. I do think that this is actually a really good place for the Bitcoin price action to be. Because like I said, the deeper those pullbacks get, the better it's going to be for the market overall. So that is definitely quite exciting. Let's see what we've got here in the comments before I continue on. Thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gents. We've got over 500 viewers. If you are enjoying this content, do me a favor and smash those likes up. There are so many opportunities brewing in this market right now. I was just talking at the beginning of the stream. Those of you that have taken advantage of that free $500 Bitcoin position, I just want to show you how easily some gains could have been made here, just to illustrate how powerful this is, right? Like, if in this consolidation period, I decided to go long with that free $500 right up to the top, that's an 11-12% move. If I leverage that up 10x, I just put 10x leverage on there. Super, it's not easy, but it's not too hard either. It is fairly hard. Depends on your kind of experience level, but 10x leverage, that would double my $500. With a free $500 position, I can walk away with $500. I mean, that is good. That is good money, considering it's a free position. And Bybit's giving you up to 30K of free money to trade with. So all you've got to do to get it is do your KYC and start trading on Bybit, and you're going to have access to all of these phenomenal bonuses, including this one with the link in the description below. If you've already been referred to Bybit by somebody else before, you can make a new account and do your KYC again. And BingX, same deal here, but there's no KYC. So you're getting up to 135K in bonuses here, which is absolutely sick. And that is with access to traditional finance markets. So definitely consider these phenomenal opportunities if you like the idea of deploying free money into these markets, because it is just completely risk-free, and you can walk away with all of the profits you generate. So that is so powerful. Let's see what we've got here in the comments. Interesting pullback. Yes, sir, it is, and it's a very good pullback, I think. How much do you think 20 to 30% Bitcoin retracement would impact altcoins, especially because they didn't follow it to the all-time high? So, John, I think regardless of how high altcoins have gone, a 30% retrace on Bitcoin would absolutely destroy them. I think that's where we'd actually finally see that breakout on the Bitcoin dominance chart, because it has been, kind of teasing that breakout for some time now. Take a look at this, right? Like, we've, again, one of the easiest ways we can kind of establish if we're going to break a level is if you kind of hang out at a level for a set period of time. This was 10 days, this was 5, this was 6, this was 9, but this time Well, actually, it was kind of similar, wasn't it? Yeah, no, it was kind of similar. You know, and so if we start printing this for a longer period of time, like let's say it's double, right? Like it gets to like 20 days. That's how you know that it's starting to get very comfy at these kind of levels, and we can start to break them. Now, I wouldn't necessarily apply this same kind of strategy to, you know, Bitcoin dominance, because you don't really do TA on it in the same way. But it can be a strong indication, especially if we're just, because, you know, this is on a very micro scale, but if we zoom out, that's exactly what we've been doing on a more macro scale, right? Previously, we were stuck over here. Now we're stuck over here, right? So we're definitely in an uptrend. And, you know, I mean, a move like this, you know, up to this next major area, and this is a major area for Bitcoin's dominance, would destroy altcoins, ladies and gents. It would destroy them. I mean, just since I started this live stream, Bitcoin's dominance went up by like 0.2%, and that translated into a $10 drop on Solana, for example. That's a 10% drop. 10%, ladies and gents. Not quite, but, you know, 7%. It's still big. It's a big drop, you know, to experience within like 2 minutes. And that's exactly what you start seeing when, you know, Bitcoin starts to pull back. So I don't think it matters that altcoins haven't hit their all-time highs. I think that is actually a very strong indication that you could be seeing big corrections coming in with this price action if Bitcoin's dominance starts to rise. And that's probably going to happen if Bitcoin starts to fall, because if Bitcoin's looking bearish, then you don't want to be taking risk, and altcoins are obviously more risky than Bitcoin. So really good question there. Very, very interesting. Thank you for dropping that note there. Ladies and gents, thank you all for smashing up those likes. Let's go ahead and pass 200 right here. Welcome to the live stream, those of you that are tuning in. Feel free to rewind this back to the beginning, because we've been covering some pretty solid stuff here. I'm going to try not to repeat stuff in this live stream. I usually don't, so definitely rewind it if you are just tuning in. And if you do appreciate these live streams, if you do find them engaging, do me a favor and smash them up so we can reach even more viewers for this brand new Bitcoin all-time high with this phenomenal retracement price action that we're facing right now, still floating at the $65,000 price level. We're actually consolidating here right now. Again, only on the minute time frame, but this is a strong indication that more downside could be coming. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on with you guys throughout this live stream. I think the main reason we're actually holding this price level is because we consolidated here literally just yesterday. So that is going to be something I'm going to continue to keep an eye out for as we continue on in this live stream. Let me see what else we've got here in the comments before I carry on with some more of this core analysis. I've got some really cool notes that I want to look into with you guys, as well as some altcoin stuff as well, because I do think that there's going to be some really cool opportunities there. Views on Myro. I don't know what Myro is, bro. It must be an altcoin. Are the alts going to finally move or what? Yeah, we'll talk about that, but I don't think that, you know, you're going to be looking at alts moving massively yet. I think that, you know, Bitcoin's going to have its sunshine, and then, you know, and then that money is going to flow into alts. I think that's what I'd be expecting. Why am I so mature, Sammy? Thank you very much. I don't know. Why am I mature? Good question. Why do you guys think I'm mature? How much do you think? Am I that mature though? Sold all SHIB 10 minutes before the dump. Had a feeling in my arse, and it did save me. Good job, man. Good job. Sammy, question for you. How much cash are you sitting on, percentage of assets? I'm not going to answer that, but not very much. What do you think Ethereum all-time high could reach? I have no idea. Maybe 10K, double the all-time high, you know, 4 or 5K up to 10K. I think that sounds reasonable. I'm seeing a bounce up to 67K before another dump. What do you think? That's a really interesting question. Basketballs is saying that he sees a little bit of a bounce up to 67, almost like a dead cat bounce, right? So something that would look a little bit like this and then back down. You know, that would definitely, you know, be your sign that, you know, we've now been, you know, potentially getting that invalidation. So that would be nice. To me, this actually looks like we're moving pretty aggressively. So it looks like we're going to have to find the support down here. I mean, we're going to have to see buyers step in really quick, but I think this is finally where it's like, yep, we set the all-time high. The rally is too strong. We're selling off, you know. This is the best thing you could see right now. The best thing you could see. You want to see this really intensify, you know, for it to be healthy. But I mean, this is a nasty daily candle right now. Holy shit. 7.5 hours left on this candle, so there's a long time left. Anything can happen, but this is a big daily candle right here. We didn't really set daily candles like this at all-time highs before, did we? Kind of had this one here, and yeah, no, the other times it was nice, at least for a day. So yeah, big daily candle here right now. This is going to be an interesting one to watch. Let's look at what this Looks like on the weekly, yeah, on the weekly, and we do have 5 days. This is meaningless right now, but yeah, big wick up there. You know, again, I think you'd call these shooting star. Actually, very similar, isn't it? Very similar to what we did at the actual all-time high. Yeah, we've done this quite a bit. So that's going to be something to continue to keep an eye out on. And the monthly time frame also looking somewhat similar, but not a big month here either. So is this going to be one of the months that ends pretty bearish like that? Certainly could be, right? Let's go ahead and extrapolate this and just see what that could end up looking like, just out of curiosity. Basically looking at something like that. Yeah, I mean, that would be super healthy. It would really fuck with a lot of people, and it would definitely cement the possibility that we're looking at a double top on the macro as well. So that would be very interesting. I'm going to zoom in again in just a sec, but double top, very important discussion to be had right now, actually, because you know, we did that last time, actually. So, you know, is it possible that we're doing it all again right now? I don't know. But, you know, I tell you what, we were looking at the inverse Bitcoin chart, and that seems to be coming in handy right now, doesn't it? Look at that. We've already managed to produce the beginning of a potential bounce. So this is interesting. We look at this chart kind of regularly lately, but let me know in the comments right now in the live chat, what do you think about this chart? Do you think this chart is a buy, or do you think it's a sell? Do you think this chart looks bullish, or do you think it looks bearish? Please let me know in the comments. I'm actually very curious to hear what you guys have to say, to see what you guys have to say. We are so close to 200 likes, ladies and gents. Just 6 left. Smash those likes up if you are enjoying this content. I want to see what you guys are saying about this bullish or bearish chart right here, and how we feel about it. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking as well. I think that, you know, look, originally when I showed you guys this chart like back here, it was a pretty obvious buy. You know, a couple of days ago, yesterday, whatever, it started to look like we're kind of slipping below this, and there were some sells coming in. Generally speaking, you know, just looking at this chart, I still think this is a buy. I still think that this could represent some really nice upside to come. Of course, for those of you that aren't subscribed to the channel, who aren't actually looking at this much, this is Bitcoin's chart flipped upside down. You know, and the thing that's important about this, though, is that if you did exercise this kind of approach in the market before, basically what we're looking at is Bitcoin bouncing off an important level the first time, but then revisiting it again years later after a very long time. Is it going to produce another bounce, or is it going to collapse? In normal TA, the answer is almost always we're going to have at least some sort of bounce, either a big one or maybe a small one, but we're going to have something. With Bitcoin in particular, though, and especially on this inverse chart, it is different. If we look at Bitcoin over here, this was the 20K top. When we finally managed to come back to the same price level right here, you know, if you tried to sell this chart, you would have been making, if you tried to buy this chart and trade it up, you would have been making a very big mistake. I think that's what some of the all-time high sellers are potentially doing right now, but I do think there's good reason to be selling here as well, because of how aggressive this rally has been. Now, if we look at this over here as well, exactly the same situation. And by the way, it's always completely normal that we come up to our all-time high, we mess about for a little bit, we get some small bounce, and we come back down, but still, generally speaking, this is not a buy. If you bought off this level, you're probably targeting resistance like all the way up here, and you just never got it. You came a little bit short. That means you would have sold up here. Of course, again, remember, the chart is inverted. You would have sold your Bitcoin here, and you would have never got your buy down here. How horrific. How horrific. You would have sold, and you wouldn't have been back in Bitcoin because you're looking for a $760 entry, or I should say $720 entry. You didn't quite get it, $700. You know, and because of that, you've missed the next 10,000 times gain or something. What is it? Like 10x is to 7,000. 100x gain. Yeah, 100x gain. You've missed out on because you wanted to buy a slightly cheaper Bitcoin, right? So it's a dangerous strategy if you look at this chart in terms of like, okay, what happens when you set the all-time high and then revisit it after a long time? You plummet straight through the floor. So really important stuff here. There was a big exception right here, actually, where you did get a nice big retracement, and it did come back to our prior area right here. So that's very nice, and that would have been at a price level of just a meager $5-6. So very cool indeed. Very cool. So yeah, let's see what you guys are thinking about on this chart right now. You're mature except when you say bam like a preteen boy. That's hilarious. I don't really even notice I say it, but it's just excitement, isn't it, really? Sammy in the chat is bullish. What's up, Sammy? How you doing, bro? Someone's parents have chosen a spectacular name for you, haven't they? Good job, man. Good job. Congratulations, man. Good name. Logical says, let's go dump. Bullish, bearish. It's a little bit more split now, isn't it? Looks like a cup and handle to me. Well, I mean, if it's a cup and handle, then yeah, you'd be expecting this, wouldn't you? So still, that does mean you'd be expecting a bounce. You'd probably be in the bullish camp. We've got a little bit more dump. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. At this point, I just buy dips and hold on a 10-year plan. I mean, pretty sound strategy, isn't it? It's hard to go wrong with that kind of approach in this market, isn't it? Let's see what we've got here. Bitcoin's dominance falling just a little bit, and Bitcoin managing to recover up to that $65,500 price level. We're going to be watching very acutely for Bitcoin potentially forming, your kind of typical rising wedge before, like something like this, before potentially breaking down. That's something I'm going to be watching here. Again, you don't really want to analyze the minute time frame too much, do you? It's just quite pointless. But we're just gonna we're gonna entertain ourselves with it just a little bit on this live stream for sure, just because I am curious. There's one other altcoin I wanted to take a look at, and this is actually a potential trade I'm going to be making on Bybit. Guys, I have been doing super well with these positions. This one is now up to 2100% profit, and my Tron position, not doing great, only at 800% profit, but super cool stuff here. Very, very happy with these positions, and like I said, all executed with the links in the description, specifically these two on Bybit. So check it out if you are curious for all of that free cash. Again, you just have to start trading in order to get this money deposited into your account, and you can trade with that money they're going to give you for free, and any profits you generate are yours to keep. Again, that free $500 Bitcoin position. Pause the live stream, take advantage of it. Absolutely sick stuff here. There is one more coin I'm thinking of trading here on Bybit, and it is HBAR, and HBAR has already started to retrace down, which is very interesting. And we do have a potential area of support right here that we've already fallen into. So that's going to be an interesting one to continue to watch. Now, given how bloody Bitcoin looks, I do think that we might actually get a better entry on this. And so what I want to do is, first of all, are we in a wedge? Because it looks like we could be in a wedge. Yes, we are. We are indeed in a wedge. Look at that, right? So it's almost more of a parallel channel, wedge, parallel channel. I don't really know, but in crypto, you are typically going to expect this to break down. In traditional finance, it's typically a sign of weakness. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Have we covered the memes? No, sir. We have not gone into the meme coins yet, but I will do that for you all later on in this live stream. Where's Pepe at? Doing very, very well. Wow, how is Pepe just consolidating up here? What the fuck? Is Pepe like doing better than Bitcoin right now? No, it's down 20%. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Oh damn. What the fuck is this chart? What the fuck? Holy shit. That is quite the chart there, isn't it? Damn. Let's look at Doge. Insane. You can't analyze these charts, can you? We're going to look at them for a little bit of fun, but I don't really have the energy for it right now. So I'm not going to go into it right now. We'll stick to Bitcoin just for a second. Nice little recovery taking place on Bitcoin, actually. Yeah, we're no longer in that wedge pattern anymore. So that's nice. We'll see if this continues on up. And let's keep in mind that there is also resistance now because Bitcoin fell so low. So on the super short-term analysis, which probably doesn't hold much weight, this could be a potential problem zone for Bitcoin, the $66,200 price area. Let me go back to HBAR here. I'm curious to take a look at this. Like I said, I was actually discussing this with my lead analyst here, who had an interesting chart for me. This one right here, I think this position would have already opened, so I didn't actually take this one. But let's actually go ahead and take a look. And I don't know if I am going to trade it, but if I do, I might even do it on stream. So we'll see. I've never actually opened a trade on stream personally, but I'm not too closed off from the idea either. It's actually been quite a big drop here, hasn't it? Look at that. Been quite a big drop. Would this have been stopped out? That was 112 stop loss, and we fell down to 116. No stop loss. Is that a stop loss? Did I read that right? 112. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be stopped out. Nice. Yeah, it's a trade that I thought of taking. I don't know if I actually will, but the thinking process behind this trade would basically be that we formed this ascending triangle with resistance like about over here. And we are doing that back test right now, so it does definitely look interesting. But I like to look for slightly more conservative entries. I'd probably want to get in a little bit lower, and then it also depends on where support might be. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. You guys are watching me consider a position live on stream right now. There's nothing on the hourly. I don't like that. 4 hours, not great. Support is much lower. There's probably some EMA support, though. Yeah, there's very good EMA support. So, you know, that could definitely be something. Like I said, it's already actually bounced off the EMA. So it's actually been quite good overall. There was this big wick over here. That would have been that was quite a problem, wasn't it? And this over here as well. But that looks somewhat interesting at a minimum. I'm not so sure about this one, actually. I don't know if I'd actually take this one just yet. Honestly, you'd want to see a bigger breakout and then more time above and then coming back down. Because right now, the risk of it being a fake out and just kind of falling down is way too high for me to feel comfortable taking that one in particular right now. Ethereum seems to still be holding up pretty well. Look at this on the hourly again, just from its all-time, this is not an all-time high, but from its high today, down by 4.3%, and Bitcoin from its high today down by 5.4 and all the way down to 7% below. That's a big correction. That's one of the biggest corrections we've had in a while, isn't it? What do we have back here? Yeah, that was a 9% correction. So we've just already done that in the space of 20 minutes or something after we set that all-time high. So, well, not 20, more like, an hour. How long have I been live for now? Damn, it's nearly been an hour I've been live. What the hell? That went really quick, didn't it? Wow. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream, ladies and gents. How is this such a quick live stream today? Good stuff. Wow, we've passed 200 likes as well. Thank you all for smashing up those likes, ladies and gents. That is super, super cool. What else have we got here in the live chat? Let's see how you guys are doing. Looks like it's being bought back up. It certainly does. Certainly does look like it's getting bought back up, but we need to see something a lot more impactful than this, I think, at this stage for a real recovery to happen and kind of big breakouts incoming as well. I think we need to see a nice reclaim of like that 66k level and so on. Dr. Benny Boom, Sammy, can you give a big shout out to my sister? She's in bed right now with an awful skin disease. The bottoms of her feet are all raw and blistering. She loves you, Sammy. Thanks, mate. Dude, shout out to your sister. Be strong. You got this. I don't really know much about your skin disease, but I hope you can get over it and keep at it. I mean, you've clearly got a good attitude if you're tuning into stuff like this and still looking at things that can progress your future. So good stuff. Live chat. Let's give some love to Dr. Benny Boom's sister. Just let's call him Dr. BB. Shout out to Dr. BB's sister. Let's give him some love in the live chat, ladies and gents. Yeah, good stuff. Hope it goes well for you. Let's see what else we've got here in the live chat. Can you explain why altcoins are plummeting? Yeah, I think it's just profit taking. I think when you're seeing profit taking in the in the space, the altcoins are going to get hit even harder because they're smaller coins and because they are more illiquid. They're more subject to manipulation, so on and so forth. So I think that could be why. Do I hold a bag of Bitensor? I don't think I've ever heard of it. Lots of love for Dr. BB's sister, Sammy the Healer. Love to the sis, sending you love. There you go, Dr. BB. There you go. That's some love for you from all over the world. We've got obviously a very international audience here. So yeah, you got this. You got this, girl. Pepe versus Bonk. Fuck. Okay. Let's not yet, bro. You're asking me to compare meme coins. You know what? Fuck it. This might be fun. Let's take a look. What am I doing comparing shit coins and meme coins to each other? Bloody hell, what is my life? They actually trace each other really well, don't they? Yeah, look at that. It's like you get the all-time high, or you get the high on Bonk, and then you get the high on Pepe. That's very funny. What can I say about this? They're both shitcoin, meme coin charts, aren't they? Like, they've just gone absolutely crazy. Honestly, you'd start looking at Fibonacci retracements, wouldn't you? That's actually just for fun. Let's actually just entertain this for a second, just for fun. But the thing, my God, I mean, how do you, what? Let's throw a fib on from this low up to the high. We failed the 236 level, so 382 is next potentially. Can you even use this fib? What the fuck are we looking at? Like, can you even use this fib? I don't even know. Yeah, we've lost the 236 from the absolute low and from the actual chart start. Yeah, really, I don't know. You can't. It's pointless, isn't it? Absolutely pointless. Maybe if we zoom in onto the 15-minute, we can start to throw a couple fibs on, and that might make a little bit more sense. So let's do it off this low, because that seems like where this whole rally started to kick off. And yeah, we've got a relevant 236, we've got a semi-relevant 382, so 618 is going to be down here in the, I don't even know how to read this number, like 5.4, you know, whatever, 5.5 area. Let's see what this looks like for bonk as well. Bonk is retracing much more nicely actually. Yeah, it just fell below the golden pocket. This looks like a relatively relevant Fibonacci, relatively relevant. 236 resistance. This is actually a much nicer chart, isn't it? Yeah, bonk is moving much better. Let's see if there's actually anything to this chart that we can start to extract here in terms of opportunities. Yeah, nice little 618. Look, it looks like these levels are respected, right? So, you know, spot buys basically at each of these key levels. Let's see if I can illustrate them nice and easily with the fixed range volume point of control. Obviously, we've got the single most important price level on this chart, most likely being right here at 2,500 sats. No, 2,500 whatever this is against the dollar. That would make sense. Let's just put the whole thing on and see what this says with the VPVR. And we've got, one sec, see what we've got here. So yeah, there's a nice big bounce down here, but that's very low, isn't it? Yeah, there's a nice big, yeah, I think this is the potential next grab of, I don't know actually. Yeah, it's not a great chart either, is it? But this looks like a pretty solid buy, this 2,500 area. If I had to choose a buy, and I wouldn't because this is so stupid, but if I had to, I would be, I think, you know, honestly, this might be the story for a lot of these altcoins, is that they do need to potentially just kind of retrace a little bit more before we see more upside coming in. Looks like Bitcoin might not be done because Bitcoin's already kind of falling back a little bit. Obviously, we want to see, you know, new highs being set every minute. But if that's not happening right now, then we could be in a bit more of a retracement mode in this market right now. So that would be something to watch out for. Do you think altcoins will go back up soon? I mean, you know, I think when I think when Bitcoin starts to stabilize, to be fair, actually, if Bitcoin stabilizes up here, then that could be the boom for altcoins. And let's actually see, let's take a look. So let's go back to the daily and investigate this and see what happened last time. Bitcoin.d, and we're on the daily here, and we bring it back to the 20k. Where am I? 20k in 2020 when we broke that all-time high, and we're just gonna move this chart to the same place as well. And I just want to see what happened to Bitcoin's dominance at this point. So this was what, December 2020. December 2020 was right here, wasn't it? Yeah. And yeah, definitely it looks like I gotta put a couple vertical lines down so I don't confuse myself. Hang on. So we're gonna put the first vertical line down. Yeah, we kind of enter the range over here, and the second one at the breakout point, and then corresponding lines. What do we have? Yeah, so we have on the initial run up, we have a drop, and the drop ends here when Bitcoin tops. Yeah, so that is very good. And then the rally continues. Interesting. Bitcoin gets weaker quite a bit until we realize, fuck, this is actually very real right here. And this marks the top for Bitcoin. I'm going to clarify everything I'm saying for you guys in just a sec. I'm just trying to understand it myself right now, and then I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Let me remove my face from this chart for a second. Sorry, ladies and gents, because I know the gents love it too. But what have we got here? So yeah, a little bit of... Initially, when we get up to this price range, we are seeing... Oh, let's look on the right-hand side of the screen and left. Just multitask with me here. We're seeing Bitcoin rally up and get into this price range, and there's a lot of excitement, probably expecting that boom. Once we get that pullback, this is where alts start to gain a little bit of strength. And when Bitcoin stabilizes, Bitcoin stabilizing right here, when Bitcoin starts to stabilize, that's when you start getting the really, kind of nice beginning. And it's actually on the breakout itself. That's when things go really crazy for altcoins until we realize, we're actually going much higher than this. And then altcoins become a lot less attractive again. So we're seeing something, kind of quite typical here, which is that when Bitcoin really has the spotlight, you're not interested in alts. Like, the space isn't interested in alts. But when it perhaps, I guess in this case, doesn't look so clear, that's when, there's a lot of interest in alts. And then as soon as it becomes very clear that Bitcoin's in a very strong position, like over here at the low 30K level, we pump up by another 10K and it's going really well for Bitcoin, but not for altcoins. And then of course the crash starts. And when the crash starts, nobody's interested in altcoins anymore because we're losing a lot of confidence. So, maybe this is when a lot of people were expecting a bit of a pullback down to the 20s, for example. Because don't forget, we broke above this level, and it literally took Bitcoin 3 weeks to double. If that happens right now, that means we reach $140,000. We reach $140,000 by the end of this month, if that happens again. So very, very crazy. Very, very crazy. Am I MDX Cryptos, mate? Yeah, obviously we're friends. Press F for Benny's sister, yeah. What else have we got in the chat? Here we go with the meme coins. A little shake in my head. Yeah, we're not going to spend long on them. You know me, bro. Obviously, just for a bit of fun. If there's a really nice opportunity on a meme coin, I'll take it, right? I mean, it's not like I've got like so much pride to where I can't make money off these kind of things. I'll still make money off them if I feel like there's a good opportunity for it. Obviously, I got no problem with that. Ladies and gents, 700 likes. 700 viewers. Smash up those likes if you are enjoying this live stream. That is absolutely sick. Thank you all very, very much. Let's see what we have here. It doesn't matter how much you're up until you sell and or use that profit for something of value in your life. This guy's saying it doesn't matter how much profit you're in until you actually take profit or do something with the money. Yes and no. Different schools of thought on that one, but I'm probably more inclined on... No, I'm not actually. I'm not more inclined on agreeing with you. No, I'm not. Because even though I do agree with you in principle, if you exercise that kind of train of thought, you'd take yourself out of markets pretty quickly and you wouldn't let your winners run. So that would actually be pretty nasty. Not something that you'd want to do to yourself. This is the day to be a streamer, Sammy. Yes, sir. It certainly is. It certainly is, dude. Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Do a collab with Tone. I love those on the last bull run. Dude, I want to. I'll hit Tone up and we'll see what's up. I think he's got the Aussie guy. Super cool guy. What's his name? I forgot. Fuck, I shouldn't have forgotten. Is it Matthew? I can't forget. Shit, that's so embarrassing. Why'd I even do this to myself live on stream? Let's pretend that didn't happen. I like him. He's a nice guy. I'm just bad with names. Anyway, I know he won't take it personally. I hope. Matthew. It is Matthew. Did I say Matthew? I think I said Matthew. Yeah, of course I knew his name. What are we talking about? Of course I knew his name. Anyway, let's take a look at some more analysis here. I've got some more charts I want to show you guys. Yeah, we've already covered a bit of this. Yeah, let's take a look at one of our key indicators of support that we haven't looked at much recently. We've already touched on it briefly with the daily Ichimoku cloud, but this is far away, isn't it? Last time we got a bounce off this level was 23rd of January. That was about 2 months ago now, wasn't it? Yeah, a month and a half. Our Ichimoku cloud now from our high is 18% and 29 days away. So that's quite big. And if we fall down to it now, it's 40% lower. 40%. Imagine we get a 40% correction right now. My God. My wet dream playing out. You'd be seeing 6-7 bottles of lotion on this table in the next live stream. It would be absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Let your winners run. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. You got to let your winners run because otherwise you just won't make money. You just won't make money. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, I've been bearish for some time, but I'm not gonna, stop myself from making money, right? Like, I've been saying this before. It's like, if you take your profits prematurely, it's like saying, okay, I made $1 million, but I don't want 5 million. Like, okay, if that's you, then fair enough. But it's probably not, because you're in crypto, and if you're in crypto, you want a shitload of money. You don't want 1K, you want 5K. You don't want 5K, you want 25, right? So what we're doing instead, as the healthy approach, is actually going for, okay, I'm gonna run this up from 5K to 25. And I'm not going to sell at 25 because I don't know if that's the top. But then at 22, we start showing signs of cracking. And then at 19, it starts looking really bad. And then at 18, I sell. And that's still better than selling at 10. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually the realistic way to tackle this market and take profits on positions, because you acknowledge that you're still going to make more money than if you start selling prematurely. But you also acknowledge that you're going to eat the last 30% loss because you just won't fucking see it coming. And that's okay, because you still made so much money. You still pulled a 3.5, 3.6 times gain on your money, right? So that's completely fine. It's actually a really, really good thing for you to pull off in these markets. And I think that's really important to be keeping in mind, during times like right now. What are my thoughts on Solana? Yeah, let's go back to Solana here. I'm curious to see how that's looking, because that's a coin that we were talking about a little bit. Yeah, big retracement. Look at that. The whole move wiped out. It was holding really strong before the stream started, but it has retraced completely off this macro area of resistance. And that's kind of what you'd expect, right? I mean, if you take a look at this right here, there's a nice little volume profile spike, but also just this clear box that I outlined for you guys. We actually hit it just now today. I mean, there's a big amount of reversals taking place here. You can't expect to break this on the first minute that you hit it. But it does still look pretty good. I mean, it does still look pretty healthy. I think it honestly just depends on Bitcoin, though. Does it look good, actually? I don't know. It doesn't look that great now, does it? Especially after that rejection. It's like, yeah, we've gone up, we've done it now. Kind of ready to start sending this a little bit lower to some lower support levels. I don't know. We'll have to... Honestly, I think it depends a lot on Bitcoin. I do think it depends a lot on Bitcoin, but I think it's holding up pretty well against Bitcoin right now, isn't it, though? Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, it's basically stable, so it's okay. It's not great. It's not horrible. It has got that going for it, so that's very bullish, isn't it? Nice bit of support that it's potentially finding here. Yeah, this is the chart you're most interested in, right? It's typically going to be the Bitcoin chart against your altcoin, because if it's not going to outperform Bitcoin, then why the fuck would you even bother? There's no point, because they're so much more risky. I think that's actually one of the best things we could see right now, is that Bitcoin stabilizes and you start to see the dominance dropping a little bit, money flowing back into altcoins. And the reason that's a really big deal, and I covered it with you earlier on in this live stream, is because if you're seeing money flow from Bitcoin out into altcoins, that means that you're not actually seeing the money leave the space. And actually what you're seeing is that the space is a little bit more optimistic, therefore they're taking a little bit more risk. So that's actually really healthy for the altcoins, I think. Dude, if you spam, you're getting put in the naughty corner in the timeout. So there you go, you're in the timeout for 5 minutes. And I don't even know what altcoin you're talking about, but spammers get put in the naughty corner. Don't do it to yourself, ladies and gents. See what else we've got here in the comments. Yeah, I'm probably missing a bunch, but if I do miss your comment, you can write it again. Just don't spam it, because then I can't read other people's. So we don't want that to happen. Let me see what else I've got here with my notes as well. Some other charts I want to show you guys. Apparently YFI is doing well, or it was doing well a little bit earlier. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. It's not doing horribly, is it? So yeah, no, it's not. It's not doing that bad, is it? YFI has been a weird one, very, very weird one. Yearn Finance, isn't it? Look at that. It's at like such a horrific level of resistance, though. My God. But if it does break this resistance, then that's a really nice big move up. 75% pump. It's not like a super small coin either, so that is quite a big deal. all smash up the like button. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate the support. Gold. Yeah, let's take a look at gold. Good shout, man. Good shout. Good stream, Sammy. Have some patience to attend to. Bless. Thank you very much, dude. Teeth for money. You must be the dentist that some commenters are talking about. Good stuff, man. Thank you for tuning in. Very cool to think I've got dentists watching me. Wow, I feel like I should be a bit more professional, shouldn't I? I should probably clean up my act a little bit. I'm 22 now. Should be a little bit more PG, shouldn't I? Dentist, my god. Wow. Respect to you, brother. Or sister. Yeah, gold. Look at that. 21.26. Looking very, very good. I mean, this is obviously going to break out, isn't it? I just think that the upside potential for gold is too slow. That's my problem. I'm so bullish on it. Much more bullish than I am on Bitcoin. Much more bullish than I am on Bitcoin. Much more. In terms of how certain I am that gold is going to... I'm way more... I can't even stress it enough. Way more certain that gold is going to go up than Bitcoin. But the problem is, like, I think gold's, for example, going to go up to $3,000. Problem is, I think that could end up taking years, like 1 or 2 years. Like, even when the breakout starts, and it kind of potentially already has started, I think it could just take a really long time. And that's just not very interesting, right? Like, I mean, how long do you have to wait to just make 50%? It's ridiculous. Even with leverage, it's just not something I want to wait for. And, I mean, you know, to make a leverage play, what's the best you could do? Like, you know, 2x? Not even, really. You can't even go 2x, can you? I'm just thinking for leverage, like, honestly, like, this is a good stop loss if you think gold is indeed about to pop right now, but it's a bit risky. But let's see what that actually looks like. So down to here, it's an 8% move. I mean, comfortably, for me at least, I could do 3x, you know, 2x for sure, but it's still just not that much money, is it? But I tell you what, it is still super cool that it's possible to trade it. BingX does allow you to trade it right here, which is super, super cool, along with others like, you know, Tesla and Google and Amazon. And that is very cool. Do you guys hear that Jeff Bezos overtook Musk as the world's richest man? It's like they're playing ping pong a little bit, aren't they? I think he was the world's richest man before. All right, you're getting put in the naughty corner as well. So I'm seeing your messages asking me why I'm ignoring you, but I don't know what your actual message is, and you just keep spamming that I'm ignoring you. So that's naughty corner, sir. Also, a Brit moving to Dubai from London, however, with 3 dogs. Any areas you would recommend? Am I completely taking the piss? Dude, having a dog out here is interesting. It's going to get very hot, and I can't comment on that yet. But people manage. A lot of people out here in Dubai have maids, housekeepers, you know, and they walk the dogs. But personally, I don't think that's responsible because they actually don't know how to walk dogs properly. They probably wouldn't treat your dog amazingly just because they don't know what they're doing. And most people don't bother to teach them. And it's not fair on the maid or housekeeper because a lot of the time you got big dogs, for example. They're too, you know, like, you know, maids are, you know, they're tiny women a lot of the time. You can't really expect them to deal with a big dog. So, you know, it really depends on what you're dealing with. For you, yeah, you're going to have to walk them. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be fine. I haven't really heard any horror stories of like dogs dying in the heat. I've heard of dogs collapsing, but there was one woman who I knew who made her dog like run in the desert heat, you know, in summer, and the dog did collapse, but he was fine afterwards. So I don't know, but there are a lot of dog communities here. And as for areas, I mean, you gotta ask somebody else, but you know, there's an area right next to downtown, like in downtown, that's dog friendly, and there's a lot of villa communities. I think basically all villa communities, if they're not Emirati, or maybe even if they are Emirati, I don't really know, are pretty dog friendly. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it from that perspective. You can't take them out with you though. Like you can't go to like the mall and stuff like that with your dogs. It's gonna be just at your house, in your community and stuff like that. I don't even know if you can take them into like, you know, if your community has a restaurant, I don't even know if you can take them there. Let's see what else we got in the live chat. What about Link? Good question, dude. Good question. Let's take a look at Link. It's been a minute. It's been like a day, but let's take a look at Link. Where is it? Link. Link is not doing much, is it? Didn't even set a high today. Really? Link has been sleeping. Well, that's really good, isn't it? That is really good. Hmm. 382 Fibonacci, not quite holding it. Well, I don't see a trade here, but it does look pretty good. I mean, maybe for a spot buy. You want to see it come down here, don't you, for a back test? But I don't know. It's all going to be if Bitcoin forms a bigger pullback. That would be what you're looking for. Oh. One sec. Thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gents, by the way. This has been a pretty good stream. Not sure how much longer I'm going to be going, but smash those likes up if you are enjoying this stream. Just got residency, nervous about locations. Congratulations, dude. You don't need to be nervous. You don't need to be nervous. Rent is fucking expensive in Dubai right now, but you know, you can always move around and stuff. Do you prefer the log chart over the regular one? Honestly, time and place. I think they're both good. You need to know how to use both. ARB also incredibly strong right now. Let's take a look at ARB. Yeah, ARB is holding it down. ARB is like, all right, you know, when Bitcoin says we're ready, ARB is going to fire off. That's how it looks to me right now. It looks really good to me. Something weird happening in the market. A lot of coins are just silent. Looks like Bitcoin dominance is decreasing. Bitcoin's dominance is staying kind of the same, isn't it? But yeah, coins are silent. I mean, ARB is just like big chilling. ARB is massive chilling right now. So that is definitely interesting. And I think there's, you know, some really nice potential pumps. Like, this is a fucking huge pattern, guys. I mean, this is an enormous pattern. If you got a breakout out of this, holy shit. That is going to be huge if you got a breakout out of this. Cool, good stuff. Ladies and gents, let me know if you've got any more general questions for the market, specifically, you know, general Bitcoin related stuff like that. I'm not going to go over many more alts now. I'll take a couple more requests, but that is it. And then I'm thinking of calling this one a stream. So thank you all for tuning in. If you have enjoyed this one, do me a favor and smash those likes up. And of course, over 190k in bonuses with the links in the description down below. Well worth checking out if you like the idea of putting free money into the market and taking 100% of the profits out. So that is super, super cool. With Bybit, you've got to do your KYC and start trading. BingX, similar case, but no KYC, and up to 135k in bonuses. Please keep in mind with all of the exchanges that I'm talking about, they are illegal in some countries, and you won't be able to use them in those countries. But as long as your country allows it, have fun, because this is sick. Do I use liquidity heat maps? Yes, I do, and I love them. I don't actually use them enough. I wish I used them more, but I think they're very powerful. How many times do we poke the all-time high before we blast through it? Well, back in 2020, it took 3 weeks, you know, and I'm not saying it's going to take 3 weeks now. I have no idea, but I wouldn't even bother answering that, to be honest. I mean, not because I don't want to. I don't want to, but because I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to tell you. My homie that has a condo out there says it to what? That doesn't make sense. Oh, it says it's too hot to be outside in Dubai in the daytime. Yeah, Dubai gets way too hot. It's not, you know what? It's not actually the heat in Dubai that gets really shit. It's the humidity. Like, the humidity is fucking dreadful. The humidity is so bad in this country when it's summer. Like, I can handle the heat. Like, I remember going to Vegas, and it was like the same temperature in Dubai in summer. It was like 40s Celsius, of course. And Vegas has no humidity. It's the driest place ever. And I was completely okay with it. Like, it was actually fine. It's actually kind of nice. It was so nice because of how bad Dubai is when it's hot. So for me, it's not actually the heat, it's the humidity. Like, you are sweating. Just if you think about going outside, you'll start sweating. Like, your body's going to be like, all right, I'll start now, you know? It's not nice. That is the downside of Dubai in summer. But what I tell people, and I came from the UK, a lot of people that come to Dubai are from Europe and so on. Like you've got really shit winters, right? In the West, depending on where you are, of course. But in Europe, like pretty much across the board, you've got really shit winters, and you don't go outside. The difference here, you won't go outside in summer either. But the difference here is you still have a blue sky. So, you pick what you want, right? Like in the UK, you're gonna wait 11 months and 29 days, and you're going to have 2 seconds of sunshine during summer, like 5 minutes at most. And, in Dubai, you're going to have like a good, 4, 5 months, 6 months, really depending on your tolerance levels for heat. Maybe even, you can, they stretch it, dude, out here. Like people in the Middle East stretch it out. You can get like 7, 8 months potentially of like, being outside, depending on who you are, how good you are with heat. And then the rest, it's like a European winter. You're just staying inside, but it's still sunny outside. So it's actually really nice. That's how Texas is. Is Texas humid, or I've heard Texas is humid. But I don't know. I've never been to Texas actually. I want to go. I would love to go. Is the tax the primary reason to live in Dubai? Seems to have many downsides. Dude, I don't think it has many downsides. It definitely has downsides. Everywhere has downsides. I think for me the biggest one is nature. Is tax the main reason? No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think tax is a big one, but slight exaggeration on that on the UK weather. No, it's not, dude. I'm actually underplaying it. I said 5 minutes, probably like 4 minutes. 4 minutes of sun. It's absolutely horrible. You'll wait all year. It's going to be shit from like September right through to like May. And then you'll start getting sunshine a little bit for like, 2 seconds. It will like kind of show up and then go. And then you've got July being nice for like 10 days and that's it. It's so bad. San Diego has the best climate in the world. Yeah, I mean, San Diego is probably like the best place in the world as well, isn't it? Spent lots of time in Miami. That place is humid. Yeah, Miami is pretty humid too. I don't like humid places. I can't do it. Singapore is super humid. Singapore is so cool, but it's so humid. It's a shame. I think there's a decent probability that this could be the high, like the actual top potential for rotation from here. I don't think this is the top. I did theorize that it could be, and it would be really good if it is, at least for a few months. But I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. Stop rubbing it in. I'm freezing now in London. Yeah, sorry, dude. I'm sorry, man. The tax situation is great in Dubai. Puerto Rico too. For the tax situation is great for investors. Yeah, Puerto Rico I've heard is great for Americans. But then you're in Puerto Rico and you got to do 6 months there, so I don't know if that's worth it. Shout out from Singapore. What's up, man? Yeah, it's not just tax in Dubai. It's the whole package. Dubai is actually a solid place to live. There's a lot going on now. It's grown so much. It's so relevant. I mean, Dubai punches way above its weight on the international stage now, and in the last years, but now especially way above its weight. And Dubai is already huge, so for it to punch above its weight is interesting. It's honestly like become like it used to be like it was like New York, London, Singapore, like until like the top 3 most relevant cities in the world. You maybe could count LA at a stretch, not really, not on that level. London, but Dubai is like, a contender for like top 5 or 10 now in terms of most relevance in the world. And that's interesting to live here. And Dubai is so small. If you're young, dude, you're coming out to Dubai, you're going to have a good time. It's very small. That makes sense. I'm in California and the winters are short and only cold to us, nothing compared to Northern Europe. Yeah, California winters are cute. Southern California, at least. You guys got down to like 5 degrees Celsius and you're like, in Britain, when we first get like 15 degrees, you start getting like tanned, like burned white guys going like shirtless everywhere. It's fucking hilarious. Like 18 Celsius, it starts happening. How is Dubai if you're a white American? Good. I mean, I don't think Dubai's not really racist anyway. So I don't think it really matters what skin color you are. But I think generally if you're a white American, you're going to get far anywhere in the world, aren't you? Like that's like the number one preferred type of person anywhere in the world, isn't it? I mean, just, You know, I think that's what a lot of people would say if there is a preferred person, it's that. So you'd be good anywhere. Born and raised in LA, moved out of Cali in 2013, would never go back. I hate Cali. Damn, bro. Where are you now? Where are you now, bro? Yeah, who the heck's buying all these dips? I know, right? Like, I certainly wouldn't be buying up here, and I think that's one of the reasons that we're seeing this. And I've been telling you guys about this for a long time. As soon as you start to get a crash happening in the space, Bitcoin is going to look a lot less interesting because it's no longer making money. And that's why we're seeing such a big drop here right now, I think. It's actually not surprising at all. Dubai is basically the Middle East Vegas, but hotter. I don't know about that, man. I've seen a lot of that sentiment. Look at this drop. Look at that. We're dropping hard right now. Oh, shit. It started. Yo, it started. We're back. Look at that. On the 1 minute here. We've swept that low, so we're definitely coming down for next support. Well, not definitely. Nothing's definite, but, you know, pretty likely, isn't it? We've got this wick here. Oh, damn. We've collected that 63. We're in the 63s now. That was quick. Wow. That was very quick. Yeah, recovering up a little bit, but we've swept that low. That's it. That's potentially a much bigger drop now. But it's much bigger. I don't know. Like, the support's right here, isn't it? So it's not that big of a deal, but... what we got here in the chat, just while we're watching this Bitcoin price. I'm just going to leave this on screen, actually. I'm not going to keep my face full screen. I don't think you want to see that while Bitcoin is dropping like this. Discussing a couple position related stuff with my analyst here. Yeah, he's made a good point, my analyst here. We haven't seen a drop like this for this entire year so far, haven't we? This was a 10% drop. And today we are up to an 8% drop. So we have seen it right at the beginning of the year. I don't know if you're watching this, bro. Not going to say your name, obviously, but you know who you are. We haven't, yeah, we have seen it, but I mean, this, in terms of dollar drop, though, this is fucking enormous. $5,600 in, what, like 2 hours, and this was a $5,000 drop. So we have, this is the biggest single drop of this year in terms of dollar price action right now. Look at that drop. Wow. Look at that. So our next support is basically this. So let's see if we hold this level. And if we do, then this is a phenomenal trade. This is a phenomenal trade. Maybe a little bit lower. You might want a better entry on this, but that's a really nice, easy trade. And then we've got, obviously, the bottom of this range, which looks a little bit like this. And it's already getting bought back up as well, so that's interesting. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat, ladies and gents. I'm going to look at the chat again in just a second. Sorry guys, I'm doing some like live management of my positions, just checking a couple bits right now. Just bear with me, I will come back and be a little bit more attentive in just a second. Yeah, this is very unprofessional of me, but fuck it, we're in. Kevin, oh my god, I'm so tempted to buy. It's not bad, honestly, is it? I mean, you know, you buy the dips, right? You don't want to buy when we're up here. You want to buy the dips. So it's not actually that bad. Look at that. Solana's retraced the entire move. Entire move. Matic is holding pretty strong. 8% down. What's Solana down by? Yeah, Solana's down by 10%. Cardano, 10%. Ethereum's probably holding pretty strong, isn't it? Oh, Ethereum started to drop as well now. Yeah, down by 7 though. Ladies and gents, interesting price action. How are we doing in the live chat? How are we all feeling? Ladies and gents, please do me a favor and smash up those likes if you are enjoying this live stream so far. Theta is holding. Let's take a look at Theta. I've been getting some requests for Theta during this live stream. Theta is down by 13%, so it's actually the worst one I've looked at so far. I don't know how well it's holding. And there's no support on Theta. This is a fucking free fall. This is absolutely horrible. This is a bad chart. I mean, from a technical perspective, at least, I might be wrong, but like from a technical perspective, there's absolutely nothing. It does have really good support down below, though. Yeah, there's a small bounce coming in on Bitcoin right now. Right off that support level I outlined. Yeah, right there. You've seen it live, ladies and gents. Take a look at that. But these are, quick trades. I mean, I wouldn't want to buy this and stay in for long. Honestly, like, up by 1.4% now on 10x, that's 14%. Honestly, I'd probably take it and run. Like, you don't know how low this thing is going to go, if it's going to keep dropping lower, but it's not building confidence in me personally, is it? I mean, look at this price action. And especially now that we're clearly in a bigger drop, I think this is an important thing to take note of, right? Like if we look at this on a more zoomed in time frame, the drop started at the all-time high, and it's taken us 2 hours and 15 minutes to drop by $6,000, 8.7%. So, this is clearly one of the bigger drops. And to me, that means we've got to find support in a more substantial place. And if we take this fixed range volume profile, point of control is at 62K. So that's going to be your important price level to keep an eye on. We'll make this a... what color should this be? Let's go for a violet, if that's violet, I don't know. And then there's these spikes that look a little bit like this as well. I don't really want to draw boxes like this, do I? But there are definitely some spikes taking place. But I think this point of control is going to be an interesting level to watch. So we'll just keep an eye on this one. That's where I'd be interested in maybe buying this, middle of the range. I don't know if we'd get it. We might not. It's hard to say. Very close to 400 likes. Ladies and gents, the all-time high, as far as I can remember, or at least recently for the live streams I've done since, this last couple of months, the most likes we've ever gotten during the stream was 500. A little bit more. Let's break that record right now. Let's break that record right now. I'm going to be right here in the trenches with you, looking for the next position that I want to trade. I've got my analyst here with me right now, showing me a couple of things that he's interested in. There is a potential Solana trade that I might take. If you guys are excited to go through some of that with me, smash them up, ladies and gents. Make sure that you are subscribed to what is, without a doubt, the most grounded, realistic, technically healthy YouTube channel for analysis in the game. In the game, ladies and gents. We are keeping it very calm, very collected. We're seeing this drop. I'm right here with you, planning out positions with you, and we're about to get it. We're already smashing them up. Look at that, 425. Let's get up to that 500 and run it from there. This is where the money is made. Like right now, during price action like this is where you make the money. This is where you make the money. It's when you get drops like this. So this is where I'm interested in the price action. Again, if you're not already signed up to these exchanges, I don't know what you're doing. You are missing out on huge amounts of free capital. that you could be deploying into the market and reaping profits from. These exchanges want your business. They are so ridiculously hyper competitive. So take their free money. It is absolutely sick. Got to start trading to get your 30K here. Just get a free $500 Bitcoin position on Bybit with this link. If you're already signed up with somebody else, you have to make a new account, but you can use the same KYC. And BingX doesn't even have KYC. So go ahead and check that out as a phenomenal alternative. Obviously, just depending on if your countries allow it. If your country has made them illegal, you can't access any of them. Check out GRT. This is one that I was interested in as well. And it is down at a good area of support by the looks of this. See the EMAs. Oh damn, we've lost the EMAs on the 4 hour. We haven't reached them on the 1 day. You know, almost a bit of a sign that, like, well, yeah, if we lose that level, then you maybe have to come down for the next one, don't you? Open interest is dropping. Open interest is dropping, okay. Coinalyze. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. Right? I'm not that good at reading open interest. But that is it. I think that's a good thing. I mean, like, it's a bullish thing. Whether that's good or not is up to you. Let's see the long and short ratio, actually, as well. Definitely going to go to 50K. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be very nice. What we got? 52% long. So, you know, I mean, kind of makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? Already secured my profit at the top. Now chilling. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Lost $1,500. Damn. Sorry, bro. Dare is saying, don't sell, you idiots. Lots of liquidations at 50. I am buying as the price drops. Could go as low as 50K before I would start to be worried. Dude, you'd start worrying at 50K? Why would you start worrying at 50K? You can't worry at 50K, bro. I mean, do what you like, but like 50K is way too early to start worrying. This thing has rallied up so aggressively. I mean, the best support Bitcoin has is at 30. I'm not worried about Bitcoin until and unless we lose 30. Like, the fuck? There's no support. Okay. Let me give you guys another. Get your notepads out again. Come on, do it again. Do it. We're getting the notepads out again. Let me tell you something that I've told you before. Back in 2022 when we were crashing, and it saved many of you guys. It certainly saved me, and something that I was able to keep running with me to make the huge profit that I made on my Bitcoin position right here on Bybit. It is the principle that I used to make this 2100% profit. That is a 22 times gain on the capital that's left in my account. Absolutely fucking crazy. I'm going to tell you how I was actually able to pull this off right now. Same thing that I used for this Tron position. If you want to get access to these exchanges, they're giving you free money, which is absolutely amazing. All you've got to do is start trading on Bybit to get up to 30K free, or that free $500 position. And BingX, same deal, but there's no KYC. Brilliant alternative. Let me give you this beautiful nugget right here. So in these markets, when you start to lose areas, you must not visualize these areas as just, you know, 64K down to 50K down to 42, you know, because you're going to start to really freak yourself out. Those are big drops. They're big drops in dollars. They're big drops in percent. You're going to really screw up your game if you look at the market that way. what I was telling you guys back in 2022, and it's the same thing I'm going to tell you right now, is that if you manage to lose this $30,000 price level right here, for example, you are looking at no support between 30,000 and 20,000, right? And we know that 20,000 was support because this was the all-time high of the 2017 cycle. So you realistically know that you can't expect support until you come back down to this price level. Now, if you expect that like we lose this price area and it's going to be a big $10,000 drop and that scares you, you're completely losing sight of the fact that there is no support on the way down. So you can't reasonably expect support to just fucking come out of nowhere, just like magically appear. And that's why we don't need to worry about how big those drops are, because it's indeed the case in the opposite direction that as soon as you start to go above these levels, you also have nothing stopping you from going back up to the same areas of resistance, right? We lose this area and it's a straight ride down. But as soon as we get above this area, okay, we take a bit of a scenic route to get there, but it's damn near guaranteed that when you get back above it, you're going up to the next area on the chart. That's why we don't need to worry about these things in terms of, oh, that's a 10K drop, or oh, that's a $20,000 drop from 70K down to 50K. I know these are big drops, but you're in crypto, man. Like, you signed up for this. Don't start crying when the volatility comes in exactly the way you want it. And I'm not saying you're crying at all, by the way, but that's not what we're trying to achieve here. What we're trying to achieve is an understanding that it doesn't matter how big the percentage drop or dollar drop is. We are only looking for levels. I need you to detach yourself from this concept of it's a 10K drop, 20K drop, 30% drop, whatever. Forget all of that. It's a new level. We're going down to a new level. I don't care if that level is 1% below where we are right now or 99% below where we are right now. The only thing I'm interested in is this a new level? Yes or no? If it's a new level, brilliant. When you start visualizing the market like this, instead of in terms of dollar drops, for example, you're going to put yourself in a very powerful position because you're going to be able to really see the market for what it is without clouding yourself with like, fuck, this is a really big drop, this is really scary. And you're going to start to be able to position yourself in really good ways to make money off really, really nice levels. I think that's really, really important. You're going to really see the market very differently. Take a shot every time I say really, and it is going to change your game. It is going to change your game, okay? You're never going to be worried about price action ever again because you know it's fine. You know that if you lose 42K, you're down to 30 on a macro level. It's just what you expect. That's the next support. But you also know that if you bounce above 30K, you're probably going back up to 42 because that's just the next level. So you're not going to see, it's going to be like, you know, the jump from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4. It's not the jump from 3 to 10 or 10 to 50. It's just, you know, it's increments in terms of levels. There's actually a really interesting way to look at these charts with, I forgot what it's called. It's there's different types of candles you can take, and many of you don't even know what this is, but I'll just briefly tell you. It might be called like velocity candles or something. Let me see if I can Google it real quick and show you guys. And it's basically where you've got candles that are based on like price data. Volume data instead of time, right? So with a normal candle, what you've got is, and this is hard to describe without like showing it to you, but in a normal candle, what you've got is every like hour, for example, you print a new candle. With velocity style candles, it's every time you trade 500 million contracts, you print a new candle, which means that one candle could take 1 month to print, or it could take 1 second to print, and it depends on how much volume is being traded. And that's actually a much better way to view the market in terms of where interesting price levels are. And I can't pull it up for you on this one right now. And it's not something I talk about on YouTube because it's just going to go over everyone's head. And it's honestly very confusing if you have never looked at it before. And I don't want this channel to be that confusing. And you don't need to either. You don't need to do stuff like that. But that's a really important way that you can, interesting way that you can actually reframe the way you view this market, because you're no longer going to view it in terms of time. You're going to view it in terms of action. Like, you know, just from hearing me talk about this, that this is objectively a better way to view the market. You know, and I'm not telling you guys to do it. Maybe I've spurred 1 or 2 of you guys on to, you know, research it, and maybe this changes your life, maybe it doesn't. But that's not the point. You don't need it. I don't need it. I don't even use it. But it does show you that there are other ways to view the market than just, damn, it's a 20K drop. This will serve you really well in the long term, ladies and gents. This will completely clean up your game. This will completely change your game, and you will be so you will be the guy with balls of steel, with diamond hands, as the big drops or big pumps come in. You're going to be completely fine. Honestly, your demeanor is going to be like mine. Like you won't, people, I'd have like my girl with me or whatever, or whoever's with me, a friend, and I may have lost, a bunch of money in a trade, or I may have made a bunch of money in a trade, and they would never know. Like, they'd only find out when I tell them. They'd never be able to tell from my attitude if I've lost a lot of money or if I've made a lot of money. They just never know. Like, I don't show it on my face. And it's not that I don't show it on my face because I'm trying to be like a macho man and hide it. Like, no, I literally just am indifferent to it. And that's where you need to get to as a trader. And by the way, it's been 7 years for me. Like, this might take you some time. But that's where you need to get to as a trader, because that's when you start to really detach yourself from the game and you can start to make really, really good decisions. So I think that's very important. We start coming down to really interesting price levels, and if you've been kind of clouding your judgment because you've been worried about it on the way down, you're going to really kind of kick yourself for it, and that's not going to be pleasant. So please do keep that in mind. We are so close to the 500 like mark. Absolutely sick. Thank you all for the support. Like I said, phenomenal offers. Check them all down below. Very, very cool indeed. Let me go through a couple questions and also look at what we've got in the in the live chat and on the market itself. So let's zoom in onto the minute, and we have started to recover. But again, it's like I said, I was looking at this area of resistance. We didn't quite get up there. Now we've got this area of resistance, and we did get up there. So we'll see if this actually leads into a rejection for Bitcoin, right? Because this was a previously charged area of the market, sitting at about 65K. This could be an important, potential reversal zone if the bears do want to drive this thing lower. And like I said, this is exactly what I was warning you guys about on this channel, ladies and gents, those of you that have been subscribed. This is what happens when you've got an asset which is making you money, and then suddenly stops making you money. All of the buyers that bought up on this rally are only buying it because they think it's going to make them money. And as soon as that, charade, as soon as that veil is lifted from their eyes and it doesn't look like it's going to make them money anymore, you start getting these really big crashes. Again, I can't stress enough, this is the best thing that can happen to the market for its health, and it's about fucking time we produced it. But this is, potentially going to turn into a much bigger problem if we start seeing these long positions start closing, right? We've seen the long-short ratio majority long for a fair bit now. It's been since the beginning of this month, and it's been fluctuating even before that. And if we go ahead and put a line down at the very beginning of this month right here, that means all of these long positions, we started going majority long down here, and we stayed majority long the whole way up, which means that a lot of long positions probably started here. And where are they putting their stop loss? I mean, just think about this logically. Like, this data is publicly available, ladies and gents. Where are these people putting their stop losses? It's probably going to be below these wicks. It's probably going to be below this wick. It makes sense, if this is going to turn into a bigger correction, that we at least come down and sweep these lows and then come back up. And honestly, that would be perfect, because we're coming back down to the 60K level. This is where you're expecting support. More longs build over here, and all of the existing longs plus the new ones start getting stopped out down here. And maybe that triggers a scary event, and then we start dropping even lower, and now we're down to 50. And that's how these things can start. And this is the problem, right? Is once you get down to 52, now you're looking at this, you start recovering back up, but then now there's some bearish articles and the ETFs start getting sold. Because one of the first things I told you in this live stream is that if you've already got massive buys on the ETF, then that means those people have the ability to press the red button now. They never previously had the ability to press the red button. That's a really important thing that we need to keep in mind. It's not bullish when people are buying, it's bullish before they buy. It's very intuitive. I mean, it makes complete sense when you sit there and think about it, but you don't actually sit there and think about it because you're consuming absolutely garbage content from YouTubers and Twitter gurus. Now you're here, you're fine, you're safe from it. But you need to keep this in mind. When people have already pressed the green button, now they can press the red button. They didn't have that ability before. So, now when we get to these kind of price ranges, you can definitely start to expect that the news articles that are already preloaded with all the bearish reasons that Bitcoin needs to die start getting loaded up over here and thrown into the market. And that's where you start seeing, even more fear campaigns, and start, seeing some sell-offs and big wallets starting to dump. And then you find yourself down at 42K, and you do the same thing here. There's a lot of longs that entered over here. They've got their stop losses below this wick. So you come down, sweep this low, and then carry on, right? Like that. It's just so typical of how Bitcoin behaves. And I know that you can visualize exactly what I'm talking about so clearly because we're familiar with it. We've been caught on the wrong side of this many times. So, It's quite easy to understand. Ladies and gents, 490 likes. If you are appreciating this live stream, do me a favor and smash them up. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of you who have been supporting this channel during this very, very fun time in the Bitcoin market. Thank you all very much for the support, whether you've been just watching, telling your friends about it, hitting the like button, subscribing, all that beautiful stuff. I appreciate it so much. So thank you very much. See what we got in the comments. First time watching, really good analysis. Thank you very much, Marcelo. I appreciate it, man. Marcello, I don't know how to say your name, bro. Sorry. We can't buy until we know support line. Otherwise, this is just a gamble. I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you, Kevin. I mean, you are going to front run levels sometimes, and that's cool too. But generally, you are going to wait for support. That's going to be the safest way to play this. Do we have a major crash post-Bitcoin halving? Well, it hasn't happened yet, right? So it certainly could. It could happen post-halving if it's not going to happen before. But we've still got a good setup for it to happen before the halving. I mean, what a news headline. We set a brand new all-time high today, and then we end up crashing. Like, it's such a brilliant opportunity for the news to allow this market to, get that nice drop before the halving. And actually, I was sitting with somebody yesterday. Who was it? And he kind of brushed the idea across that... I remember who it was. He's not a crypto guy. He said that the halving may already be priced in because of the ETFs, and that makes so much sense. I mean, the halving's like the narrative that everybody's fucking jacking themselves off to right now. Like, of course it's possible that it's being priced in right now. Of course. I don't know that yet. I'm not invalidated, so I'm not getting out of my positions. Even this, of course, doesn't invalidate me. So I don't know yet if that's actually what we're looking at, but it would make so much sense. If that is actually what's happening. No way it falls to 53k. Well, I thought it wouldn't fall down to 15k when we set an all-time high at 70. I thought 15 was completely off the cards. I thought at worst, it would be an $18,000-$19,000 Bitcoin. And yet we got 15. So don't be so confident, sir. When this thing starts crashing, it's going to look like it's going to crash right down to the floor at like $1, $0. It's going to look like that. It's going to make you feel that way. Don't be so sure about yourself, dude. Thanks for streaming live. Just subscribed. You're very welcome, Tyler. Welcome to the channel. Ladies and gents, let me know if you have just found this channel through this live stream today. And if you have, welcome. And let me know if you've been here for a little bit. I want to see how many of you guys have joined today and how many of you have been around since before today. Very, very curious. Who put it a short at 69k? Congrats. Dude, whoever shorted at 69k, first of all, made a very obvious, easy trade. And second of all, is probably printing some really nice cash right now. Because from that high down to our current price, that is a 7% drop. Again, we run with the same analogy of the free $500 Bitcoin Bybit is giving you guys. 10x leverage. And you could comfortably do 10x, right? Because, you'd put a stop loss like... Oh, it's so easy to put a stop loss on this. You would have reasonably had a stop loss at 70,100, for example. That's a 17% loss with 67% upside. What is 67% of 500? 350? I don't know. I'm so bad at math. 300. It's 300 something. You've made like $300 on a free $500 position, which is absolutely sick. Super, super cool. Check that out while we are live, because this offer is going to go once enough people have used it, because it costs Bybit $500 to do it every time someone uses it. This so far isn't a big crash for crypto. You're 100% correct, Serge. Yeah. Still in tiny crash zone. Wake me up in the 50s. Yeah, I feel the same way, dude. I feel the exact same way. I mean, I'm live streaming right now, so I'm entertaining this, but I feel the exact same way. This is not a big crash at all. This is nothing. Jennifer joined today. Welcome to the channel, Jennifer. Been dropping in about the last year or so. Nice one, Anthony. Just joined, like the setup. Thank you very much, Brandon. Appreciate it, dude. Found you through Carl the Moon. Nice. Yeah, I was live on Carl's channel yesterday. Hey, I'm new to the channel. Good shit, bro. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Couple of years for GC Crypto. You legend. Addison found it today. Very helpful. Thank you. 6 months strong. Yeah, and I've been I've not been on YouTube as much as I used to lately, but that's been nice. You know, I'm here when there's something big, but you know, I've kind of been doing my own thing a little bit more as well, and that's been nice. But obviously, you know, if the market's picking up again, then I'm super happy to really get back into it and go intense on it. Let's see what's going on with the price. Nice big recovery right now. Look at that. Well, not big, but like, yeah, it's about $1,000, isn't it, from low to where we are now? Yeah, 1.3. Let's see. I mean, you know, if we manage to reclaim this level, we could be in luck. I mean, this is that big area of support. I don't see it though. I think we're probably going a little bit lower now that we've gone down this low. That's how I feel about it personally. We've grabbed liquidity and we're going back up. Yeah, but it's all so short term, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's not a big move and it's all very quick. You know, a lot can change in the next hour even. How long have we been live for on this stream now? It has been 2 hours. Nice. It's been 2 hours live, ladies and gents. Nearly. Generally, how often do you take a trade? Oh man, I don't know. It's just when there's a good opportunity. I've just hired a couple more traders as well in my team though. Potential TRX position right here. Let's take a look at this. I'm not sure if I would take this one, but let me entertain it for a second. Okay, that is a big drop. That's pretty good. Look at this. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's just Bitcoin dumping makes it so unsafe. That's my problem with it. Your stuff is always thought-provoking. Thank you, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm coming here for. Apologies, ladies and gents. Just checking something with a couple bits. This might be something I'm interested in trading. It's a nice support bounce. Let's see if there's any confluence we can start building up though. Bear with. That is a very big Ichimoku cloud. Alright, that is not something I would ignore. That is a very, very big support cloud for Tron. By the way, my entry on Tron, way back here, I'm still in the same position. It's ridiculous. I'd have to trade it again on a different exchange. That's one of the other nice things that's about having multiple exchange accounts on multiple different exchanges is you can trade the same thing in different places and kind of separate your trades. Really, really good for you. Really, really good for you to separate trades and test strategies and so on. It makes your life a lot easier. Same setup came in over here. Look at that. Exact same setup. I love these back tests. This one is probably more of a scalp, honestly, just from the way I'm seeing things. Yeah, we lost the 4 hour, but we nearly have daily support. What does this mean? Like a $63,000 Bitcoin, right? It's going to have to drop a little bit lower, or dominance is going to have to go up. Honestly, I'd probably go for a pretty tight... Wow, you can put such a tight stop loss in here. Bit risky, though. Yeah, it's a bit risky. I don't know. Bitcoin dumping like this, it is quite risky. But look at that. Bitcoin's recovered quite nicely now. Up by $1,000. Right up at this area of resistance. So this is really crunch time for Bitcoin, isn't it? This is what we want to watch. Want to see how Bitcoin tackles this particular area on the chart now, because this is where the resistance actually starts on this very short-term analysis here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. very nearly at 900 viewers. I wonder if we can pump those likes up a little bit and push this over the line, over 1,000 concurrent viewers. That would be amazing. What caused the huge dump? Dude, just selling pressure, man. Just selling pressure. We set a new all-time high and people are taking profit. It's normal, it's healthy, it's good. It's nothing bad at all. 565 likes, you legends. That is probably the high, I think, that we set last time. Thank you all very, very much. Let's push them up. And let's see if we can push this over 1,000 viewers. That would be amazing. Yeah, anyone spamming gets put in the naughty corner. So, Devi, you're going in there now. Been here since the window in the background with the view of Dubai. One time I seen a girl walk by in the window reflections. What else we got in the live chat? Last time Bitcoin touched the all-time high, altcoin season started. Hope it will repeat now. Well, it hasn't started just yet, but that is something we'll keep an eye on for sure. Seems pretty divided between sell and hold, does it? Seems pretty sellish right now, I think, if that's a word. Seems like it's really trying to sell. I mean, you know, it's just dumped by about $6,000, doesn't it? That looks pretty. That looks like sellers are winning, bro, to me. I mean, you know, there's some consolidation in between, but I don't know about that, bro. Sol is really good. Yeah, Solana looks really good. I'm going to take a look at that again. Long ratio on Binance increasing, is it? Lots of people going long, and we know what that means, doesn't it? Especially if the dump started. Yeah, look at that. 1.45 longs in the last 5. Oh my god. What about top traders? What are they doing? Oh, they're also very long. They're much more long. Oh, well, that's interesting. This is not like as miraculous as it looks, but it's definitely useful. Can you please explain how to read the Bitcoin dominance chart? When does it go up? When does it go down? Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's something I've covered a lot, and you'll see it if you're subscribed to the channel. But Bitcoin's dominance rises up when the market is happy. Yeah, when the market is happy, market participants want to make even more money. They're greedy. You know, when you're greedy, you want to make more money. So they look at more risky places to put their money, and that will lead you to that will lead you to altcoins. So money starts going out of Bitcoin and into altcoins, and that's how dominance goes up. And then on the flip side, when things start getting scary, or when things start getting very exciting, you don't need that risk in altcoins. You don't want that risk in altcoins if the price is crashing as well, and that's why you start to see dominance go up. So it's really in times of stability and happiness. When you've got that confluence, when things are stable and people are happy, that's when altcoins start to move. And guys, we are right on the edge of that 1,000 viewer mark. That would be sick to break. We have been live now for 2 hours. Wow, look at that, 633 likes. Dude, I fucking love you guys. Thank you all so much. That is so cool. We are really pumping things up today. What was my price prediction for all-time highs during this run? Yeah, Brandon, it's not a question I like to answer because is this the end of the bull run? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. It's not a question I like to answer, Brandon, because you really have no way of knowing. You know, it's honestly just a fun thought experiment at best. But for me, the reason I don't like to even consider this is because it just, you know, I'd be thinking about the wrong things. I don't know, and I don't care where the top is going to be. I'm just going to try and make as much money as I can while the sun is shining. Make hay while the sun is shining. That's it. I'm not really interested in doing anything else beyond that, because you know, then you're just kind of, I don't know, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. So I don't know. But what I will say is, like always, I would expect Bitcoin to at minimum double its previous all-time high. So that means 140K at minimum. That's probably what I'd be expecting. Do you move your crypto to stables? Nope. If it drops, I drop with it. I'm married to the game, bro. I'm married to the game. What else we got here in the live chat? It's been a good live chat today, ladies and gents. Thank you for all of your questions and stuff. I only had to put 2-3 people in the naughty corner today. How old are you? You look young and killing it. Yeah, bro. I'm relatively young. I'm 22. That's fairly young, isn't it? Yeah, 22. 24/7 live stream. Let's go. Push this to 10,000. Dude, if we get 10,000 viewers, I'll go live for 24 hours. Fuck it. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. We're at 65k. Let's take a look. No. Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, we just hit 65. Oh, yeah, pumping through 65 now. Solana's going back up. Yeah, Solana's back at 135. Looks like we're back, ladies and gents. Back in the game now. And look at how beautifully we bounce off that support line I showed you guys. Just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Love it. Love to see it. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be a bounce that stays personally. We're gonna keep watching it, obviously, but you know, now we've got support up ahead and we've hit the all-time high. We've kind of done it, you know, like you can certainly expect, you know, a bit of a pullback. It would make sense at this stage. Do you spank the people you put in the naughty corner? Nicole, I'm not trying to get a CG violation on my YouTube channel, so I'm going to stay away from that one. I think we needed this dump to happen. We were on the brink of selling out. Now BlackRock and Bitcoin holders gives us a window to invest at a low. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. That is exactly what I'm saying. Fave hobbies beside crypto? Good question, man. I love to go on drives. My favorite hobbies. Fitness. Going on my walks. Cardio. Man, cardio is such an interesting one because I hate it. I absolutely hate cardio, but the feeling you get afterwards is like a drug. So cardio is pretty cool. Obviously hitting the weights, just progress, anything related to progress. That's nice. Reading. I love to read. I absolutely love to read. And yeah, probably being with family. Hiking. Hiking's a big one. Just above 65k here, 61.5. Not too bad, is it? Not at all. Have you ever heard of power law? What is power law? And if it applies to Bitcoin? Power law. Oh, this looks like math stuff. I'm not good at math, bro. Functional relationship between two. I have no idea what that means. I'm actually not good at math. Oh, okay. Okay, so basically, correct me if I'm wrong. What's your name? Brandon. This is saying if a particular phenomenon happens often, it's weak. But if it happens rarely, it's strong. This would be a real law if there was not such a clear correlation between amount of stupid politicians and level of stupidity with stupid politicians. If that was not the case, I would probably fully agree with this law. But I think you can think of really big exceptions to this. How does it relate to Bitcoin, though? I don't know. How do you think it relates to Bitcoin, Brandon? And also, let me know if I actually understood that properly. Because I don't know if I actually got that. Let me see if I can look at... if there's another chart that kind of explains this. In any particular market, or for any particular product or interaction with clients or prospects, most are not clients of the business. What? I'm sorry, I'm not reading this properly. It's been a long day for me, ladies and gents. It's been a long day. Now I'm on the spot with 900 people watching me struggle with a simple graph, so I think I'm good. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to wait for Brandon to tell me what's actually going on. Any cool cars you like to cruise in? Damn. I love my Ferrari, my Portofino convertible. Took it to Europe. That was the best time of my life. One of. Did that with the boys when I was for my 21st birthday. It was just a bunch of boys that we grew up together. We were like young entrepreneurs from like age 13, and we all took our sports cars through Europe for a road trip, just the boys. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm so happy I did it. What kind of books do I read? So I've actually linked 2 books in the description that I love, and I revisit the second one a lot. It's called Market Wizards. I revisit that book probably a minimum of once per year, and that's because I think that it's such a powerful book. It actually like fully just transforms my game as a trader every time I read it. I don't know how. It's just superpowers on paper. It's so strange. And then other than that, biographies. I love biographies. I'm going through Titan. About John D. Rockefeller, so that's been very interesting. I want to go visit Cleveland, Ohio now. Curious about that part of the U.S. I love biographies, yeah. Losing My Virginity, Finding My Virginity by Richard Branson, phenomenal books. Love them. They're great. It's like if I told you that you could sit and have a conversation with Richard Branson. Many of you people who are not from the UK don't know who he is, but he's like one of the most famous UK billionaires, and he's like a really nice guy. Everyone loves him. He's actually pretty cool. He's like our Elon Musk a little bit. Yeah, he actually is. Yeah, he's a lot like our Elon Musk. It's like, if I told you could have dinner with him, and just chat with him for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, everyone would say yes, but then people don't read his book, it's the same thing. In fact, it's better because at dinner you might feel like you should speak to him, but there's absolutely nothing you'll gain from speaking to him. But if you listen to him, you might learn something, and that's what books are. That's what autobiographies are, and so on. So I think they're actually really cool. Hector Martinez, thank you for the $10. Just appreciation for you being real. What charts would you recommend? Charts would you recommend for a beginner like me? Charts. That's an interesting question. I don't really understand your question. Please elaborate on that for me. I think Bitcoin, dude. I think Bitcoin is, it's not that bad. It's not that hard to analyze. It's not super easy, but then again, nothing really is. But Bitcoin's solid. Bitcoin's good. Bitcoin's fun. You want to have fun. You want to make money. You want to have fun. That's important. I don't think it matters, really, which chart you look at. I mean, you wouldn't look at meme coins and shit. That's too dangerous. You want to look for something that's a bit safer, right? Your Bitcoins, the S&P 500, gold, charts that are easy to read. Start off with those. With those. I think that's what I would do. Please explain invalidation. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be different for different people. But it's the point where you can no longer reasonably be bullish on the market. And I'm not going to go into mine. I'll tell you guys about it a little bit later on if we approach there. Probably, honestly, for me, I'm not going to be bearish on the market unless we go below 27K. It's not necessarily my invalidation, but it very well might be. But it's not something I want to go into right now. We're very far away. I'm nowhere near being invalidated, personally. And I've taken so much profit on the way up that it actually doesn't even matter. Look at this. Bitcoin is really trying right now. We're really trying, but we're right at that resistance. If we can get above 65.2, I think we've got a real shot at getting back to 66. And that would be huge. That would be absolutely huge. You tell us what you think is going to happen to Matic. Let's take a look at Matic. Actually, it's not a chart that's easy to analyze right now, is it? Yeah, it's just straight up in a straight line. So there's nothing I can say about this chart at the moment, really. It's not moving in a way that you can really analyze it reasonably, so I don't really have much to say about Matic personally. Candles aren't strong enough to bull. Well, that can change, so I wouldn't, I'm not making strong conclusions about this in any direction right now, but there is a bit of resistance up ahead, so it's worth keeping that in mind. What's a good strategy to dollar cost average in the dips on altcoins? That dollar cost average, just like you said, dude. Just elaborate on your question, because maybe I didn't understand it properly. Sammy, one of my biggest bags is EGLD. Please, can you give me your thoughts on the project and chart fundamentals? I don't know anything about the fundamentals, but I have heard a little bit about this coin. Never really looked at it myself. Macro resistance. So same picture as a lot of these coins, isn't it? Honestly, you could literally say it's any other coin, and the chart will probably be the same. If you break this resistance, you're fucking flying, mate. It's gonna be the best time of your life. But otherwise, this is a pretty clear sell, just like everything else. Doesn't mean you should sell, but it is a pretty clear sell from that. But I tell you what's looking good is we did have this macro area of resistance, right? Like basically right here where we are at the moment at about 65, call it 66, 70, whatever. And, it does definitely show some strength that you kind of come up here back in July of 22, revisit it all the way later at the end of 2023, and then again so soon. When you start getting these repeated, consistent, short tests of the same level, that's when you can actually expect the blow up to happen. So each subsequent test probably makes it more likely that the price explodes. And again, it's just huge upside on this chart. Absolutely insane upside on this chart, right? Just to the next real area of resistance that I'm seeing, it's probably like up here, and that's 90%. That's double. So yeah, it's good from that perspective for sure. We hit 1K viewers, did we? I didn't see. Probably hit it for like 1 second. Let's just take a look. 977. I don't think we hit 1K. Maybe it said 1K, like shortened for you, but I don't think we hit 1K on this stream. But we did hit nearly 700 likes. You absolute legends. Thank you all so much for smashing that like button up. That is so nice of you all. We have been live for over 2 hours now, and we're still going. I did want to leave, actually. I was trying to leave a little bit earlier on, but then the price started to dump, and I was like, all right, well, I'm here now. We're going to stay. Matic crash? I don't think so. I was just looking at Matic, wasn't it? Yeah, it's not really a crash, is it? Solana's doing really well, though. Like, despite all of this. Solana's just one of the white knights of the space, isn't it? But again, it's this macro resistance. I wouldn't be too optimistic right now. Honestly, we just got to see how Bitcoin goes. But above this resistance level, it's the same thing for Solana up to its next areas of resistance. It doesn't actually have as much upside, does it? It's quite a mature coin by that measure. If you had to pick 3 coins, what would it be? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin. Confidently. With a big smile on my face. Look at that. Look at that recovery, ladies and gents. Right off that support level. Beautiful. There's easy money being made in this space right now. That was an obvious short. That was an obvious buy. Again, not my risk appetite, but I know probably a good number of you guys probably traded that. One of the best times of my life was a road trip across the US on a bike. Road trips are tits. Dude, yeah, that sounds super cool. Where'd you go, Spacebird? Where in the US did you go on that road trip on a bike? That is so cool. I've done a couple of road trips in the US. Road trips in the US are super fun. They are. They're really good. The country is obviously made by the road, and it's for the road. So the US is cool. I've done a lot of driving in the US, but I will say I do think Europe is better. I do think Europe is a better place to do a road trip. I do. And it's for a lot of reasons. The US is super cool. Like, the US has a lot of really cool shit. And when you start traveling and you go to the lesser known parts, honestly, that's the beauty of the country. Like, that's what actually made me really love the US. It was the fact that, like, it's not the cities. Like, fuck the big cities. They're absolutely dreadful. They're so bad. But it's the smaller parts of the country. They're beautiful. They're American dream. They're so nice. And you really start to see them on road trips. But I think for me, it was seeing them in Europe, like seeing the smaller parts of Europe, just felt so much more colorful. It felt so much more, because you guys have seen what middle America looks like, and like, when people are like bashing on America, it's like billboards of like lawyer accident advertisements and McDonald's, and it's just all a bit messy and shit. And that, honestly, like a lot of just, random parts of America do look like that. Europe, Europe can be pretty horrible too, but it's not, I don't know. I think it felt a little bit nicer. And then, of course, you've got Switzerland, and Switzerland itself just beats everything, in my opinion, in terms of scenery and stuff like that. I mean, Switzerland's just absolutely pinnacle of the pinnacle, quite literally by many measures. Switzerland's next level. So I think that's actually really cool. But yeah, man, let me know about your road trip. That sounds super cool. I want to do the PCH. That one's still yet to be checked off by me. I'm gonna have to do that from San Francisco. I'm from Europe, Slovenia, next to Italy, Austria, and Croatia. Dude, Slovenia is so beautiful. Canada, yeah. Dude, I need to do a Canada road trip. I'm so interested in Canada. I want to do Toronto to Vancouver. Call me crazy, but I want to do Toronto to Vancouver. Wednesday we have Jerome Powell talking. Yeah, that could be interesting tomorrow. Why is breaking the all-time high an obvious short? That is such a good question. It's not that breaking the all-time high is an obvious short. It's that the resistance of the all-time high is an obvious short. So we did break above it, but that's why you have a stop loss, right? So it's just you short resistance. That's what you do. You short 20K when we're breaking 20K. You short whatever. Not you, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like that's what you would, that's what a trader would do. They would short a resistance level. And if there's any resistance level that's obvious to short, it's the psychological resistance of an all-time high. That's why it's really obvious. Because a lot of people are going to be taking profits at an all-time high. So it's a very obvious trade. Yeah, like if you're looking for resistance, it doesn't get, like, you don't have resistance on the chart, right? So the best you could possibly find is an all-time high. German here. Shout out to Germany. You guys have just made a change in your legislation. That's sick. I'm from Switzerland. Thank you. Swiss is awesome. Yeah. You guys in Switzerland are just living absolutely elite. Absolutely elite. If there's any country I wish I was born in, it's either like Japan or Switzerland, probably. I mean, I love the UK. I'm like super patriotic about the UK. Even though I talk shit about it, I absolutely love the UK. But Switzerland and Japan are just OP. They just, you know, yeah. Innsbruck, so damn pretty. I've never heard of Innsbruck. Let's check it out. What's Innsbruck? I feel like I've actually heard the name. That's why I'm curious. Innsbruck in Austria. Okay. Oh yeah, that's nice. See, this is like, Colorado tries to do this, and it's just not great. I went to Vail in Colorado, and I'm like, nah, you guys don't get it. Like, that's, you don't even try almost. Like, where is it? Oh, okay. I've actually probably been around here. I've come down this part of Austria before. Where was I? I can't remember where I was. I've been down this end of Austria before. With a couple of my boys. It was so funny. It was one of the best trips I ever took with the boys. I've had a lot of good trips, actually. I used to travel a lot. You guys asked me about my hobbies. Travel used to be one of the biggest ones. I mean, Austria is just a gem of Europe, isn't it? See what I mean? Like, you don't find this in America. This, like, you'll just want to... You know what? Like... So you got Vail, yeah, and Vail's super popular. I know there's Aspen, and I haven't been to Aspen and stuff like that, but like Vail's one of the popular ones. And it's basically they try to make it like one of these cute towns where you can ski and, you know, like cool stuff like that. But you don't actually want to walk around those parts. Like, there are certain parts that are a little bit more built for pedestrianization and stuff, and that's great. But that's not the core idea. The core idea is you put a fucking freeway through it. I'm not even making this up. A freeway, a motorway, put a motorway cutting right through the entire town, and then put a couple underpasses so you can get around it. It's ridiculous. In Europe, they will literally put one road that goes through the town, and it's one lane on each side, and it's really slow traffic, and fuck you if you're a driver, you're not important, because pedestrians are important, because people live here, and people work here, and people want to go to a cafe, and they want to buy some ski gear, and they want to eat their Austrian delicacies, so you are irrelevant if you're in a car. And like, I am a car guy. It's the number one pleasure I have in my life. But I understand that that is how you should be running a ski town. Europe just gets it. And by the way, it wasn't their choice, right? Because these towns are very old, much before the automobile, but I mean, you wonder why America couldn't pull that off at least once. They probably did, but I don't know about it. I know there's certain parts of like Boston or whatever, but you know, I'm talking about like ski towns. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been to Aspen. Maybe it gets better, but Vail is super popular, and it was just not the place. It was just not a massive freeway right in the middle. I'm sorry, just no, absolutely not. Like a D grade, honestly. What about Greece or Ireland? I haven't been to Ireland yet. I've done a lot of Greece. I think I'm done with Greece now. If you were to start over from zero in this market time, what would be your steps? Probably exactly what I'm doing right now. I would buy as much as I can of Bitcoin, and then I would leverage trade my way up. And I would use the free $500 that Sammy is giving me with Bybit, because that is a huge head start. And then I would build up to get as many of these bonuses as I can. And I would rinse the bonus on BitX node. I'd actually rinse every fucking bonus I could get. That's the first thing I would do, honestly, because it's free money. I would just, I'd just take all of this free money. I'd run my accounts up as much as I can with leveraged trades, and I'd hold Bitcoin. It would actually be really fun. I can't do it because it's against the terms for me to use these bonuses, but it would be a fun YouTube channel if I started it. Have I been to Slovenia? Yes, I have. Yeah, only briefly. I've never been to India. My dad is from India. I've never been to India. That's what I would do if I was to start off, and then I'd start leverage trading, and I just I would buy support levels, I would sell resistance levels. I would trade with reasonable amounts of my portfolio. I wouldn't take unnecessary risks, and I would just grind. And it would actually, I don't want it to happen. I'm very happy with where I am, but I think it would actually be quite fun. Because I know there's some legend 16-year-old that's about to become a millionaire in the next 2 years watching this. Bro, I know you're here. If you're looking for a path, that one could be fun. Obviously, you're probably age barred from these exchanges, so you can't do that. Don't break any laws in your countries, but that could actually be really fun. Did a road trip from UK around Europe, went down to the bottom of Italy. Oh man, that's a huge road trip. Down to the bottom of Italy. Nice. Must have been a really good time. PCH with the top down is a cool vibe. Yeah, it is. And dude, Perpetual Prince, you've been here since the beginning of the stream. I love you, man. Can I pin your comment? Yeah, right there. Thank you for being with me right since the beginning of the stream, man. You're almost always here. Really, really love and appreciate the support, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Always see you in every single live stream, man. There's a few of you names that always come up. I've done east to west, back and forth Canada road trip. Nice. Nice. Jaguar F-Type SVR. Nice. Yeah, that's a good life. Dax SRT. You're a car guy also, but I'm sorry, bro, but SRT. I'm sorry, man. I'm a bit too European to respect that. But you know what? If it makes you happy, bro. If she's a 4 out of 10, but she makes you happy, bro, then, that's what's important, right? Just fucking with you, bro, of course. I haven't been able to appreciate muscle cars or American cars in general. I don't like any American cars other than Teslas. And they're not American. They're actually African-American. So, well, that's still American, but yeah. Do you think Bitcoin has changed your life, or was it the pursuit of success that changed your life more? Both, honestly. I mean, the pursuit of success took me to Bitcoin, and then that took me to be good at Bitcoin trading and so on. Bitcoin is the vehicle that I did it with, but if it wasn't Bitcoin, it would have been something else, for sure. Have I been to the Netherlands? Yes, of course, bro. Many, 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 many times. Love Netherlands. Netherlands is actually one of my favorite countries, I think. Aspen is nice. I lived there for 2 months. Snowmass, which is on the other side of Aspen Mountains, is just as nice. Very expensive back in the early 90s. A night in the Jerome Hotel was $1,100. $1,100 in the early 90s. That's like $10 million in today's money, isn't it? That's ridiculous. How much is coffee in America if I go to I have no idea. $1.20. €1.20. No, it's not €1.20. It's like $7, actually. I do have an idea. I'm talking about Beverly Hills, LA, those kind of areas. You're literally going to pay $7 for a coffee. It actually makes no fucking sense. Money isn't real in America. It's so expensive. It'll be $7. I remember that. I do remember. I was shocked. I remember taking this chick out in LA. And we went to go get coffee, and I got an espresso because I don't even like coffee. And I think it was like $4, and she got a $7 coffee. And like, obviously I could afford it, but I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is a coffee day all of a sudden like, and then you pay a tip, and then you pay tax, so they don't include tax. Like, you're closing at like $15 for a fucking coffee and espresso. It's like, how did this even happen? It doesn't make any sense. It's so crazy. It's actually insane. Like, some of the pricing stuff in America, honestly, a lot of it make no sense. Absolutely wild. I do not get it. I still fly all over the world modding planes. Dude, that's sick. Nice one, man. 57 this year. One of my favorite road trips was a castle to castle trip through Germany. Dude, that sounds so cool. Castle to castle. You don't like any American cars? That's how I know you've never owned a Hellcat. No, I haven't. I haven't owned a Hellcat, but I'll tell you why I don't like American muscle cars. It's because I've had the privilege to drive Porsche. And when you've driven a Porsche, everything in life is either a Porsche or not a Porsche. And the further you go from Porsche, the worse it gets. Think about American muscle cars, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Ketamine Keith. I can tell you're American, sir. Ketamine Keith. That's hilarious, dude. The jokes write themselves. American cars just try to deploy as much power as possible and give you a comfy seat because you're probably overweight. I said it. I fucking said it. I absolutely went and said, and they give you a 17-ounce cup holder because everything's in ounces and Fahrenheit, right? For your Starbucks. They give you a nice big cup holder and a really comfy seat and a shitload of power, and the car won't be able to deploy it efficiently. The car won't have good handling, and it's just going to go relatively fast in a straight line. It's going to sound like it's farting. I don't have good things to say about American cars, bro. This is a hill I'll die on. I'll actually passionately scream my case from the rooftops on this. You have got to, if you were a Hellcat lover, you've got to test drive a Porsche. Test drive a Porsche, hit me up in my Telegram, come to me on my Instagram DMs and tell me what you think. You'll get it. You will get it. Dude, how are you losing money in crypto right now? Like, we're literally at all-time highs for Bitcoin. How do you even lose money right now? You must be like, I don't know. Like, how do you lose money? I can understand if you're not making much money, but if you're losing, I don't get it. $9 for a small cup of coffee in Manhattan. $9. Like I said, money is not real in America. It just doesn't make sense. Why is it dumping again? It's not really dumping though, is it? It's just down by like $200, $300, $400. It's not really a dump. It's not even 1% of price action. I'm not worried about this. We'll keep watching this, but I'm not too worried about how this is going. Who the fuck would pay $7 for a coffee? Here espresso at the morning till 8 a.m. €1 at the date. Morning till 8 a.m. €1. In the day it's 120. At night it's 140. Makes sense, kind of. I don't know why they'd increase the price, but yeah. Okay, look, if we're talking about like old American muscle cars, and that's super cool. Yeah, I would buy them. I would buy one for sure. Like, I'd get like a 60s Mustang. So of course I would. Come on. But if we're talking about like the cars that are being released in the last 10 years, nah, man, not me. Not me. Well, honestly, I do respect it, and I would try it. I haven't driven a Hellcat. You're right. Same thing as with BMW. Every single BMW owner wants a Porsche. They do, yeah. BMW is just like an inferior Porsche, but that's fine because at least you're on the right track. If you're going American muscle, you're just going in the wrong direction. I'm very curious to hear about Spacebird's US bike trip, though. Bro is hating. Porsches have too many mechanical issues. Bro, what Porsche are you talking about? I own two. I've never had a not once in my life have I had a mechanical issue with a Porsche. Not once. In fact, I've only had one issue on my 718 Boxster. That's the first Porsche I ever bought. The second one's a 911 GT3 manual transmission. I've only had one issue on the 718 Boxster, and it was that the heating stopped working. And that was in the UK, so that was actually pretty bad. But it was just like a cable got stuck somewhere, and the dude literally just picked it out and done. Like, it took like 2 seconds. A Porsche is a Volkswagen. How are you going to have a problem with it? And it's a Porsche. It's not even a Volkswagen. It's a Porsche. Nah. There's no mechanical issues, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. You must have gotten very unlucky. I'm new to crypto, bought a few coins, made some profit. Any advice on paying taxes in the UK? Didn't know crypto had taxes. Yeah, bro, they will tax anything. You've got to speak to an accountant, bro. I can't advise you there. I'm sorry, man. Brandon, be open. I will be open-minded. Obviously, I'm just fucking with you guys, right? I'm just playing, here on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm open. I'm not going out looking for it, but eventually one day a Hellcat's going to be in front of me and I'm going to have a chance to drive it and I'm going to check it out and I'm going to drive it with an open mind. Driven across US 7 times, driving a Fiat Spider, Alfa Romeo Spider, Dodge Challenger RT and an RV. Fun times. The Challenger was the best ride. Alfa was the funnest. Interesting. I will try. For you guys, I will try. That is a commitment I'm making. I'm a German car person, but I have to say, every Chevy I own can hold my McDonald's large drink except my German cars. That is it, though, isn't it? That is exactly what happens. That is exactly it. You can't fit an American, soda cup in, a Porsche cup holder or something. They just don't go that big. It's hilarious. It's so foreign if you're not in America. But I rate it, though. I actually like it. I like the way Americans do it. Because if you're going to go, if you're doing junk, then do it big. That's the way I see it. I actually think they're doing it right. That is something which I think, there's a lot of things America gets right. Honestly, most things, I would say. Most things. There is some woke stuff that's a bit, off. But most things I think America get right. And, the bad food culture, oh my God, it's so good. And they do it big. If you're going to do it, don't, do it right. That's the way I see it. Go all in, bro. What you scared of? You're not scared of a large plate of spaghetti, are you? Cheesecake Factory, come on, man. I think you got to be real with this. If you're gonna do it big. I think they are right about it. I drive 5,000 miles a year. No way, dude. I probably drive 20, 25. Solana withdrawal suspended on Binance. I wouldn't think so. That's surprising. Maybe give it a check on Twitter. Ford GT will give the Porsche a run. Yeah, but dude, that's a GT. Come on, man. You're comparing a hypercar to, a potentially $100,000 car. It's completely different. Please watch the Chevy Goliath AI commercial. I'm going to have to check that out after stream. I don't want to get a copyright strike or something. Are we challenging the all-time high again today? Well, I thought that we certainly could, but at the moment it's not looking likely. Honestly, I still think that there's more downside to come just from looking at this chart. I'm not convinced by this chart. And I'll tell you why I'm not convinced by this chart. It's because if you're going to get a bounce, the bounces usually come in quickly, right? They'll come in like this, right? You kind of get this big rejection, you fall down, or maybe it happened the other way around, but that's not the point. And then, it's the next hour, you're already moving up. And we're not doing that. The next hour, we're 20 minutes into it, and we're not getting that recovery yet. Look, it's not like we're out of time, but typically, if you are going to get a bounce, it is going to come in quickly. Typically. That doesn't mean it has to go the same way this time, but that is usually how it goes. And I think that makes sense. So I think that's important. By the way, guys, I forgot. I spoke to you about this yesterday, but I'm going to bring it up again, and I'm going to keep doing it just for a little bit until I'm satisfied that I got your attention. Deepcoin pulled out of China, and it's because they had to, because of the government. There's some weird stuff going on. I decided as a precaution to take my money off Deepcoin, and I wanted to let you guys know about the same thing as well. It was all completely fine. There's no issues with the withdrawal. Everything went okay. But I want to let you guys know, because if you take that kind of thing seriously like I do, then you might want to know that I made that decision. So as always, ladies and gents, with any exchange I ever talk about, if you ever have a problem, I am very well connected with these guys. I will sort your problems out for you, or at least do my best to do it. and we've always been able to help. It doesn't happen often that somebody needs my help, but whenever it has happened, we're always there. We'll help you quickly. I've got my team monitoring this account. I want you to reach out to me. You are never alone in these kind of problems, especially if I've referred you to an exchange. So I did want to bring that to your attention. Yeah. So I have withdrawn all of my funds off Deepcoin. And I'm not interested in using them right now. That might change in the future, and I'll let you guys know again. But I'm off them for now, and withdrawals are still good, so nothing to worry about. But I do think that it's smart to migrate to another. You know, like I said, BingX, phenomenal alternative. It's also no KYC. Yeah, I said the same thing about Binance when CZ. I just like to, you know, when it's your money on the line, you know, I do think that it's worth taking these precautions and being a little bit kind of overly paranoid. I do think that's important. See what else we got here in the live chat. Hey Sammy, it's your homie Sam. I used to drive a Porsche too. Kind of in a pinch right now. Can I interest you in bailing me out? You legend. What about Audi? Yeah, Audis are sick, bro. My first few cars are Audis. I love Audis. I'm loving car talk. We need to make this more of a car YouTube channel. I actually want to start a car YouTube channel. I really do. And in fact, I'm going to show it to you guys right now. Go subscribe to it if you're curious. I will put a link to it. Let me do that. I'll put a link to it in the let me throw this link in. It's in the live chat. Go subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is most likely going to be my car channel. So if you're curious about that, and I kind of like did it as like a podcast thing. It's just like where I put some fun videos on there. This channel, if you guys know this channel, let me know, because that'd be hilarious. Any of you who recognize, if any of you recognize this YouTube channel, tech me now. If any of you know Tech Me Now, oh my god, you have been around for a while. You have been around for more than 7 years. More like 8 years, if you remember that YouTube channel. Let me know. You are like, that is probably as OG as any of my subscribers are ever going to get, if you recognize Tech Me Now. Dude, I'm in Oklahoma. You want to talk about massive portions? The Walmarts are full of overweight people in motorized carts asking if you can get the chips off the top shelf for them. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I was having fun with like bashing on America a little bit, but that's just fucking sad, bro. That's actually so sad. I can't even find that funny, dude. It is it would be funny if it wasn't so sad. Yeah. D Johnny, just subscribed. Dude, you weren't subscribed this whole time? That's hilarious. Sammy, can you please look at Cardano? There's an inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. Wondering if I should trade. Well, I'm not going to tell you if you should trade it or not, but I'll take a look at Cardano. Inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. You know what? That doesn't surprise me if it's on the weekly. I don't see it, though. It's already broken out. Yeah, I do see it. It's already broken out. This is the neckline. Let me draw it. Hang on. Let's take a different chart. You don't need the weekly for this. Let's look at the 3-day. 3 days a little bit cleaner. Where is it? Head and shoulders. Oh, this is a weird. I don't really know how to draw this one, but it's the same thing. It doesn't really matter. That's the inverse head and shoulders. So, you know, with these kind of patterns, obviously you're going to be looking for that neckline retest. Come back down here. This is the buy. Send it. That is one of the best buys I've seen in crypto. Good spot. What's your name? Bilal. Bilal, good spot, bro. And the reason I like this is because, yes, it is a long-term. It's an inverse head and shoulder. It's a long-term pattern. It has a clear potential support level. It is the only clear potential support level, so there's not much ambiguity. It's not like, oh, well, if we lose this one, there's another great level below. Like, not really. You'd have to drop a lot. It's a bit messy because of this price action, but you'd be looking for that neckline test. So it's just about finding where that entry is for me. This is something I might actually trade, dude. Thank you. Hang on one sec. Just gonna send that over to my analyst. Chart from a viewer. What do you think? See what he says about it. That's pretty cool, yeah. But that's far away. But I like that. I don't know if we'll actually get it. In my experience, some of the best trades are the ones where you don't actually know if you'll fill. You don't actually know if the trade will open because it's like not super easy to get the fill. Those are actually a lot of the time the best trades that I've seen. It's a good spot, man. Yeah, and then what would the target be? Extrapolate that target. And we have the next block of resistance. Wow. Isn't that an interesting chart setup, huh? I'm going to go a little bit higher and put it right up there in line with these bits of resistance. And you can even stretch it down, but now you're really cheating, aren't you? But like this is a big percentage range. There's 20% resistance range, but yeah, that's the $1 area, isn't it? Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. That is a good... Yeah. My lead analyst says, and I'm reading quote for quote, would be a beautiful long entry. I'll keep an eye on it. There you go. You get the stamp of approval from me and my lead analyst. Good stuff. Yo, if you guys have good positions, send them over. I'm interested in this shit. Let's talk about. Let's hash it out. We're talking about cars and shit, and I'm super down to do that. But, and let's keep kind of hashing it out for a second. But if we've got some interesting chart setups, tell me. I wanna see them. Jesus, you had to look. You're almost at 3 hours. Yeah, just had to look. Yeah, almost at 3 hours. Yeah, we are. Ladies and gents, it's been a phenomenal live stream so far. Good bit of price action. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you do smash up those likes and check that you're subscribed. You want to make sure that you're keeping up to date with this very time-sensitive content that we're putting out. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. It's been a good live stream for sure. It's been a very good one. Shout out to those of you that have been here since the beginning, or even since halfway, because that was 90 minutes ago. That's very impressive. Been around for a long while, buddy. You're the man. Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you very much, guys. If you got more charts that that have really good setups, like forget, I don't want you to tell me about coins that are up like 50% and they're fucking Pepe and Shiba. Like that's actually just like Dax saying, Dax SRT. Shout out to the bro. Just like he's saying, let's make some money together. Absolutely, dude. Let's take a look. Like if you guys have got charts that you think genuinely look really good for some trades, I want to know. I want to know, and I want to talk about them. I don't want to like just look at charts for the sake of like being a nice YouTuber looking through your suggestions. Like I'm done with that. Like I mean, I've done it. I'm going to keep doing it, but not today. Like today, from now on, let's look at really nice chart setups instead. Welcome, mate. Nice to be hanging with the community. Yeah, bro. VR Essentials. Did you get the Vision Pro? I love the Vision Pro, man. I'll post here in the futures if I find something interesting. Yeah, dude. Thanks for sure. Yeah. You can send it over on Telegram. Send it over on Telegram. I took that H-bar trade you brought up. Oh, damn. Well, I don't want you to trade based off anything I'm saying, but let me see how H-bar is doing. Like I said, this is not a trade that I would take personally yet, but it looks really good, though. It does look really good. But it's just Bitcoin. I mean, with Bitcoin being like this, I'm just not ready to be in a trade at the moment. I need a bit more clarity. I don't like to take trades where I'm not so sure. I need more clarity before I put my money on it. Because you don't need to trade that much to make money. Like a lot of people miss this, but you don't need to do that. Will ETH continue the bull run if Bitcoin's making a correction? I don't think so, man. I think ETH is probably going to have to correct, and it already is. Freaking missed that amazing short. Yeah, a bit of frustration there. But that short you could have seen coming from a few years. So I don't know about that, bro. You had plenty of time to prepare for that short. You probably just didn't want to. It was Ferdinand Porsche who constructed the first Volkswagen, the Beetle. Wasn't Volkswagen like a Nazi thing, though, way back? Car of the people or something? German engineered cars can't compare to Americans. You buy a German car, sit in, drive it, fill up the can and repeat. Very little problems with the engine. Doesn't matter if it's a VW or an Audi or a Porsche. That's it, man. That is bang on. German cars are just on a different level. They actually just fully get it. And it's obvious. Everyone knows this. I have a Boxster. Engine started making milkshake holes, so head gasket gone. Okay, well, Boxster, I don't know, man. That's like, you know, we are talking like 8 years old now. It's still not acceptable, but, you know, I'm just pointing it out. A minimum of 8 years old. If you just have a normal Boxster. 2010 era 911s has bore scoring problems. Okay, I'm not aware of that. Look, I'm sure you'll find exceptions to these things across the board, right? There's going to be little problems here and there, but generally speaking, because that's what we're doing, we're talking generally, they're incredibly reliable. Ketamine Keith says it's not about turning. He's talking about the Challenger or Hellcat. I forgot what he said. It's not about turning. We have long straight highways. I can do 200 miles per hour on my way to work in a big comfy seat. Yeah, man. Yeah, you've got that. You have got that, right? And that's the thing. Like, these American cars are made for American roads, and American roads, if you're on a freeway or something or a highway, they're not great. Like, they're, you know, you're gonna want like an airy suspension. You know, you're gonna want like to not really feel it and just go straight. And yeah, of course, it's America, right? Like, the country's in. Maybe that's why us Europeans appreciate Porsche and appreciate, you know, other German cars that are a little bit more tight and nimble, because we turn. I don't know. You guys will make like a simple left turn or a right turn. Guys, by the way, let me know in the comment section if you actually knew this. In America, you can actually turn right on a red light. The American viewers are going to know this and be like, yeah, of course you can. But you can actually turn red. Or you can turn right on a red light in America. Do you guys know that? Let me know if you knew that in the live chat, because that blew my... I remember when I first went to LA, I was 18 years old, first time in my life. And I went to rent a car. I got a Porsche 718 Boxster and Boxster S. And I'm like, so is there anything I need to know about, you know, driving in the US? He was like, well, you can't go in the HOV lane. Okay, fair enough. And you can turn right on a red light unless it says you can't. I was like, how the fuck does that make sense, bro? Absolutely insane. Yeah, but actually it's genius. It's actually genius. I think the whole world should be doing it. It makes sense. I want to know how many of you guys actually knew that, because that was shocking to me. Actually, like, fully blew my mind. And stop signs are stupid too, but that's a different discussion. Celebrate their first super. I don't even know what this is, Bilal. Thank you, though. I don't know what first super is. Shout out to those of you that have just subscribed. Seems like some of you guys are tuning in for the first time. Brandon right there. D Johnny apparently as well. Even though I'm sure I've seen you on this channel for a very, very long time. Shout out to Eric, been around for a long while. I think I've already read that actually. Rico is like, in other countries you can't turn right on a red. Only in some places in America. It seems like most places in America from my experience. HOV lane, someone's asking what it is. It's actually genius. It's a high occupancy vehicle. It's literally any vehicle that has more than one person in it. Or in some cases like Teslas and shit, like electric vehicles. You can take this one special lane right on the end of the freeway. And it's just for people that are like more than one in a car. And it's usually the fastest lane. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's actually really good. Carpool lane, you could call it, whatever. You can turn right on some European countries also on red. I didn't know that, dude. Maybe I've seen it, but I don't think so. I didn't know that. In Canada, you can turn right. Yeah, but Canada's the 51st state, isn't it? Canada's just America. Some really weird comments here. I'm not even going to read them. No, man, I'm in Singapore, VR Essentials. He doesn't have the Vision Pro, but I'm good at the Quest 3 and Climax Crystal. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, you can get the Vision Pro. You can import it. They're all over Dubai. You can buy them like on the market here. Spacebird, I didn't know you couldn't do that in the rest of the world. That's crazy. You must be joking. Yeah, it was during Nazi times. VW Beetle was invented in 1938 during the World War. It was turned into the Kubelwagen. Did I say that right? A kind of German Jeep. So like a baby G-Wagon then. Is that what it is? A baby G-Wagon. Unless it says no turn on red sign, yeah. Two cities in North America you can't turn right on red: Montreal and New York. Sammy, I just subbed to your Take Me Now channel. Yeah, guys, in the live chat, I've pinned a channel. That is my second channel. And I wanna put some card content out on there. And I've never said that publicly before, but now is the first time. All right, ladies and gents, it has been very nearly 3 hours, and I need to eat. I went to the gym yesterday. I gotta go get some protein in. Damn. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna call it a night for this one. We've seen some really interesting stuff on this stream today. I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and I'm gonna come back to you guys as well, of course, when something interesting happens here. And for now, I'll see you all in the next one. So you know what to do if you have enjoyed this one. Show this live stream some love. Let me bring the stuff back. Show this live stream some love. Hit up that subscribe button, likes, all that good stuff. Get you free money. Insane. You got a jetpack strapped to your back with these bonuses. Absolutely amazing. Super, super cool. Thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gents. This was a great one. Do I like soccer? What's my favorite team? No, sir, I don't like football. I don't watch football. Can't comment on soccer. Crypto Jupiter stay. Dude, I've been here for 3 hours. I need to chill for a sec. All right. Thanks, Sammy. Take care. Excellent stream today. Thank you so much, Pat. Really appreciate it. Not worth the money for the Vision Pro. Yeah, I get it. The Vision Pro is very expensive, and especially to send it. Yeah, Singapore. Yeah, from America to Singapore is not easy. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm off. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all very, very soon. Be well.